Marcus, bring us in, brother.
What'd you say? Okay, here, let me call you back. We live. All right, yeah, don't worry about it. Beep. Yeah, money's on the phone, baby. Money out here to go get. Listen, fresh off the jet, sharper than Gillette, the best you can get. We are back in here. Trey is out. He got old boot toe syndrome. I don't know what he did. He ate some Chinese food and caught ptomaine poison. Trey is out. But guess what we do have? We got Ferd the Bird Nerd. We got Vinny. We got Brian McClay. We got we got Sean. How we doing? we got
both,
yeah, baby. What we doing, man? We out here. We getting money. We finessing the juniors. We making money. What we do? Hey, did y'all see my Julio Rodriguez rookie card that I just picked up today? Did y'all see this? Did y'all see this? We out here. We out here getting money. We out here getting money, y'all. We getting money. That's it. I'm going on. Run on with your show. We out here.
Thanks for everybody joining us. We got 22 live as we start the show. Appreciate everybody. We got a lot of interesting news today. Big, long show tonight. We've got NFT news. We've got card news. We've got tons of market report stuff. And Kid Called Beast, you guys. If you guys don't know about Kid Called Beast and you haven't been watching the show, Kid Called Beast, one of the NFT projects that the crew has put you onto early on, has just been devastated by hacks. So absolutely crazy information. We're going to get into it today. I want to say thank you to all the new members. We're going to get into that at the end of the show. I'm going to rattle off all the new members. It's been crazy. You guys have been really, really supporting, and I appreciate that. Be on the lookout for all the new stuff coming. We got a bunch of crazy stuff this year, so we're going to keep you updated on all of that. Let's get into it, starting off with some of the biggest news of the day. A lot of people talking about this one, that being Greg Capullo talking about going over to Marvel. And I think this might be one of the things we were all waiting for in the comics world, something to spark a little excitement, spark a little bit more interest into getting some weekly books. And Capullo shares, let the gossip begin with a Wolverine sketch he's doing. It almost looks like Wolverine Zombie Edition, right?
Oh, dude, I didn't post the I don't know if yeah, it does. Wolf, yeah, I guess. I know he's just trying to not give anything away.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, throw him with the writer. It'll be probably on the Wolverine book. Somebody brought up, this was just a tweet reply. Somebody brought up that he'd always wanted to do like a motorcycle thing with Ghost Rider and Wolverine, like they're like motorcycle bros. So I thought that would be that'd definitely be pretty freaking cool if he did something like that. I'm trying to get to his other tweet, which is a little bit ago. I posted to I posted in text. Let me find it, and I didn't.
No, it's right. It's right here. I got it.
No, but there was a second one.
Yeah.
You got Capullo. So as the top one, as all is.
This one right here.
No, not the pinned. I think probably the third text. Keep going up. Probably third one down.
I was raised on Marvel. I realized my dream of working for them many years ago.
So,
but I've been away since the mid '90s, and I'm excited to play with their toys again. So
and go the other direction. And he tells no, the other direction. Go up. So the newest one that's not a pin.
I'm consistently asked if I'll be returning to characters that people have been seen my work on. Batman, Spawn, X-Force, and even Quasar. I get it, but I'm getting older and would rather not tread over ground I've already been on. New adventures. Amen. Yeah. So, and then he says, as always, I'm beyond grateful to the Capullo Army for the many years of support that's allowed me to live my dream of being a comic book artist, a dream that I've been on since 8 years old. Thank you for being in my corner. I'll do my best to never disappoint you. So,
yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited anything about him doing anything Marvel, or him, about Marvel doing much lately. Let's put it that way. So we get Capullo over there. That would be awesome.
Well, here's the only thing that I am a little weary of. Right underneath this at CBR, it says, on December 8th, 2022, Capullo shared a post on Twitter asking fans, quote, I'm about to Marvel up. Cool with that? And writer Donnie Cates quote tweeted Capullo's message the following day with a GIF of Top Gun showing Tom Cruise Maverick smiling and putting on a pair of aviator sunglasses. Man, I don't want Capullo to be on a Cates thing, because I want Capullo to be on something with somebody that I know is gonna stick the ending. Like Kate's has been terrible lately. I want it to be good.
You know, hopefully Cates is getting his getting Zach back together. He's been off for a little bit. Hopefully been in the lab doing some stuff. So even though I understand your trepidation for sure, I own 100% with whatever comes out with Capullo and Cates the first day. I'd fucking read it.
Yeah.
So and hopefully the landing helps, and hopefully working with someone as creative as Capullo can help with that. Depending, but who knows? It could be like hopefully it could be like a 2 or 3 year run or something like that. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm more excited to see Capullo back. Sometimes I even ask myself, I know there's only one answer to this, but like growing up reading Spawn, and I'm not going to pretend I've read all 320 issues by any means because I haven't in a long time. But yeah, I almost don't know if the Spawn to me is even the McFarlane or the Capullo, you know, and that's a personal thing. Of course, it's Todd McFarlane, but like I'm just saying, like. That I mean, just that guy is just beyond supremely talented. I've just always loved his work. I'm just such a big fan. He's a rock star, cool guy. So yeah, I'm just excited either way. Personally,
It says here, Donnie Cates said after that quote, "I've been working with Marvel Comics editor-in-chief CB Cebulski on and Marvel in the background on something insane that will, well, you know it when you see it." How many times are we going to hear that from Donnie Cates? Something insane. Oh, this is crazy. Come on.
What other writer can just quote out like a fucking 90s trade paperback cover of Carnage Mind Bomb or whatever, and all of a sudden it's a $200 book? You know what I mean? Not too many other writers can actually do that. At least and I will say that at least he's tried to be, that he's a student. He likes the old school stuff like us.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how old he is. Probably in this age range right here.
Well, who, Capullo?
He's probably a little older.
Donnie Cates.
Talking about Cates, yeah.
Donnie Cates,
38.
yeah.
He's only 38. Okay,
yeah,
close.
And it sounds like him and his wife, unfortunately, are calling it quits. Hey,
Man, what does wife look like?
She
looks like Donnie Cates.
She's an artist.
She looks.
She doesn't look like Donnie Cates.
I'm just kidding.
She's pretty. She's an artist. She'll have booths with them and stuff at the cons.
Yeah,
I met them
beautiful.
at C2E2.
What's her name?
Megan Hutchinson.
Yeah, I walked with them to a good old White Castle at 3 a.m. in Chicago.
Boy, I know your stomach was on go.
It probably saved my ass, actually. And I have the immune system of a cockroach. So yeah,
That's her.
That's her right there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Hold on.
well,
Hold on.
IBS, so she's probably could be a tiny bit older than him because I am. And so I guess she was at UCLA about when I was. So that's mostly what we were talking about. Just the life in Westwood shit.
Hey, them cheekbones kind of. Them cheekbones.
See, she looks like Donnie Cates in that picture.
Dude,
She does look like Donnie Cates. She looks like Donnie Cates right here.
You're right. I never saw that.
Yeah, she looked like she looked kind of mannish.
You just ruined it for me.
She looked kind of. She got that He-Man jawline.
Or is he girlish, dude? Come on, whatever.
No,
could go the other way.
She's a cool chick, man. She's
honestly
cool. She's cool. Okay.
Yeah, and before not
that jawline,
a personal
she got that
friend, but a personal person. Had a very nice conversation between a bar and a White Castle. She's a nice.
But she got that strong jawline, like she drank peanut butter, Jack. That's it.
What does that even fucking mean?
She
Dude?
what that means? Peanut butter.
I don't, but I do at the same time.
I ain't even got that.
Even mean, dude?
Okay. I ain't got that. She got that Wendy Williams, Jack. She got that. She drink peanut butter. Chew steel.
I love
the back of a Buick. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I love Capullo's Twitter banner. He's got Kerry King and Corey Taylor with him. I mean, that's pretty epic. And if you guys don't follow Capullo on social media, man, he's always shredding. He's got his guitar and he's like playing these badass metal riffs.
He's a comic book rock star.
And he's lifting weights and stuff. He's like, He's like a man's man, and the only problem though is like he lives in Sedona. So, well, it's not a problem. That's actually pretty cool because that means that he probably also gets down with the mushrooms and stuff like that too. So, maybe one of these days we can get
it's a
Greg
Good Friday
Capullo
in
on the show.
Sedona. There's a little bit
Amen.
of psilocybin.
Amen. So, yeah, let us know what you guys think. If you guys are interested on Capullo heading to Marvel, I was hoping that there might be a chance that we would see a Capullo Snyder series at Marvel or somewhere else. Be nice to have them do something. But I get it what he's saying. Like he's already done this. He wants to try something new. So
I think it'd be interesting putting two big names together, and a different mix because Greg Capullo and Snyder have been. I mean, of course, they're a great duo, but I think it'd be cool to switch it up a little bit and go to Marvel and just see what happens. I mean, I'm definitely excited myself personally. So,
yeah. Amen. Maybe this will be the spark we need to start it off, right?
Yeah.
Another big piece of news lately has been the news on Justin Roiland. If you guys haven't been following this, kind of a bummer. Justin Roiland, the voice of Rick and Morty, and did he help create it too? Yeah.
He did create
so
I believe
he's getting canceled. So voice of Rick and Morty leaves show after domestic abuse charges, which is a big hit for them, man. I mean, this is whenever you hear this name, that's what you think of. It's like Rick and Morty, you think of Justin Roiland. When you think of Justin Roiland, you think of Rick and Morty. So, man.
I mean,
how
it sounds
like they're going to continue without it. Go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah, I'm saying, he does not look like an abuser. He looks very, light in the loafers. So I'm confused on how he's domestic abusing anyone.
Are you assuming his partner is? I can see what you're implying. Does his partner? His partner could be anybody. Think about that. And I don't know. I don't fucking know. I have no idea. I don't know anything about this guy except Rick and Morty. So
yeah,
I'm not
gonna
actually
say this,
replying.
but you see what I'm implying. I just was like, I don't know.
I see what you're implying.
Yeah, but I did see this though. Rick and Morty will continue the talented and dedicated show, hard at work on season 7.
Because they already wrote it.
Yeah, it's already kind of done. But if this man is the voice, like, it's just like it's like I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna age myself. Listening to Bugs Bunny when I was a kid, compare this to the Looney Tunes that come on like HBO or used to come on HBO Max or whatever it was. That's two different people, and it just doesn't sound the same. It doesn't hit.
Doesn't work
like it did when I was a kid, and and I'm just like, Rick and Morty being such a staple in this generation's. My son is on Rick and Morty. It's a 12-year-old who grew up watching Rick and Morty. And they'll know the difference when the voice is gone or whatever, or maybe he's already done this season voice wise, so so we can get away with that. But I mean,
I think I think you're right. I think I think diehards will end up changing it up. Like we lost, you lost Parker and Stone for South Park or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just know that they're not there and wouldn't be as excited to see South Park.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm not completely. I haven't caught up all 30 years of South Park, but I've seen. I mean, it's spectacular, right?
Yeah.
So it's the best social commentary that we've had for the last going for 29 years or something like that.
Yeah,
maybe ever,
or not quite that long, but like whatever. I was a freshman in college, dude. I was 18. I'm a lot older than that.
Yeah. Shout out to
Yeah. So Solo Wookie said, if it ain't Mel Blanc, it ain't Bugs.
100%.
100%. Mama Lou said, I was reading that he's been going to court since 2020, so that means there's really good evidence he was on the wrong. I get it. I mean, until it's proven in a court of law, I'm not here to put my mouth on it. I'm just saying that he doesn't look domestically abusing. I mean,
never know, man.
Bro,
you never know. Yeah, you never know.
Eyes,
I'm not here to dispute.
He could be 6'8", dude.
He could be.
Also, like, think about this, and I don't know how to. I don't know how to say this. Like, yeah, you're saying he doesn't look as alpha as you'd think or something, but to be like in charge and be this intelligent and this driven to keep something going when you're this successful, and I'm sure he's made. I can't even fathom as creator with all the, I think sole creator with all the credits, with even he didn't write the comics, but everything else. Like, you know what I mean? You're a driven person. You're probably used to being in charge. So like, I don't know. There's that. He just might not look like you would think that. Look at Weinstein, dude.
Dude,
Man,
Chad,
listen,
I'm comparing him. I'm just saying people who you wouldn't think by what they look like.
Yeah, Chad Cave.
Dude, he always hits
Funny
it,
didn't
man.
look like he ate other. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what it is. You just can't tell.
Hey, listen,
You really
I
can't.
just watched that. I watched that Dahmer show on Netflix, and I mean that was a crazy show because he was eating dark meat. So I was in danger species around Dahmer, man. He wanted dark meat. He was letting the rest of y'all get by. Vinny, you might have been in a little bit of trouble, but he wanted
just stay a while.
He wanted
Oh,
wanted
man,
ribs and sausage.
that was kind of uncomfortable to watch. Did anybody else watch
It really was.
Just stay a while.
Dahmer? Yeah, I get through some of it, and I was like trying to throw it on like before I was going to bed. And I'm not like someone who gets scared or like something like that. So I was just like, this is fucking just gross.
Yeah,
bro. Man, can you imagine being? Hold on, let me say this. Can you imagine being in the apartment complex where he got the whole block,
The
or
smell?
the smell that everybody was like, "Yo, what is the smell?" Bro, I would have kicked in that damn dough. Boy, if you don't clean this shit up, I mean, it's like, come on now, brother. Like, I got my ladies coming through here, brother. Like, what we doing? See, you know, I mean, I'd be that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Come over for some beers? Some beers?
Nah,
and
I'm
some
good.
TV?
I'm good. I'm off that narcotic. I'm good. Yeah, I don't want none. I will have none. But I will bring some Pine Sol and some Fabuloso over here to come and help clean this shit up. Whatever you got going on over
Fabuloso,
here.
man.
Fabuloso.
I discovered that a year ago.
Pine Sol ain't gonna do
We
it.
leave
Fabuloso
Fabuloso out. We have to keep buying them because the house gets cleaned. So
yeah,
you got
yeah.
to stay stocked of Fabuloso over here.
Fabuloso
looks like something my kid might accidentally drink. They should not.
Yeah.
That's true.
It
It's
just looks like egg or something.
It just smells like Tijuana.
Listen, there's a whole meme. Cardi B had a song called "Be Careful" on her very first album, and there's a meme that says, "This is what Cardi B meant when she said be careful with me." And there's a cup of Blue Mountain Dew soda and a bottle of Blue Fabuloso, and it looks the exact same, and they poured it in the cup.
Damn.
And they were like, "This is what Cardi B meant. Keep on playing with me. You gonna drink this Fabuloso, not this Mountain Dew." Yeah, like it was a whole thing.
Like the hydrochloroquine fish tank cleaner.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, dude.
You don't smell that? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You gonna drink it?
Dude, I get drunk. I don't drink rubbing alcohol.
Speaking of Rick and Morty, we have some other Rick and Morty news with some NFT stuff going on here. What do we got here, Vinny?
Oh, yeah. So we've been talking about Doodles a whole bunch. I think I told you all that the president of Rolling Stone moved over to Doodles. Pharrell came on board on the creative side on Doodles. And so, they're just expanding. They're doing a lot of cool stuff at Art Basel this year. They did like this huge indoor putt, Doodles themed golf course thing. It was pretty dope. So what they're doing now is they're actually starting to expand. They're moving into Doodles version 2. But along with that, they are acquiring the animation studio that helped do a lot of bits and pieces of Rick and Morty. So they are definitely moving into other realms. They're getting ready to do some animation stuff. That's an Emmy-winning animation studio. So they've got a lot of stuff up their sleeve. In addition, they're moving onto the Flow blockchain, which is the blockchain that was created by Dapper Labs. You guys might be familiar with Dapper Labs from Top Shots. So basically, I think they're just trying to make it more accessible. I think, a lot of people who didn't understand NFTs, they got in on Top Shots. You just had to essentially put in a credit card or pay with PayPal or whatever. So they're kind of moving to this more of a mass market type of thing. But what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to mint this new version of Doodles, and then you're going to be able to accessorize it. So they're kind of they're selling like these different things so you can really customize your Doodle. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really cool project. It's super hyped, and this is just one of those projects that I don't think you can really go wrong with. The original project is going to remain on the Ethereum blockchain, but this is how they open it up to the masses.
So
Dude,
let me
some of
say
those
this.
look dope.
Yeah, so these are the second generation of Doodles that's coming. What you're seeing right now, the first is going to stay, like Vinny said, on the Ethereum blockchain. But this is like, the people that do Top Shot and all of that. You'll be able to go whatever that website is, and it'll be like you're buying it. It'll have all the animations around it, the whooshes and all that shit, and then the reveal, the whole 9 and 10. This is really going to take Doodles to another level as we're heading into this new, bull run for NFTs and just cryptocurrency in and of itself. So, Doodles is leading the way, even with all the stuff that happened with, a kid called Beast. And I'm not going to get into it because I know we're going to chop it up later. But even with all the stuff that's happening with a kid called Beast, what you saw, if you were just kind of watching and just kind of living out on Twitterverse and, the web and Web3, you saw that people that were doing and buying a kid called Beast and already in certain factions of kid called Beast were coming in and helping the company in and of itself save itself from the hackers. So like you could jump on a Twitter space and see people like, hey, I got somebody at Twitter. I'm gonna call them and they can do this. Hey, I got somebody over here. They're gonna do this. Hey, I got somebody over there. You're gonna do that. And these are like all regular people from all walks of life that are connected, and you're starting to see these kind of threads kind of intertwine, and they start to build a thing because we're heading back toward, the rush of NFTs and just cryptocurrency. It's insane. I'm telling you now, I'm going to be first in line with this Doodles too. I missed the first Doodles. Vinny missed the first Doodles. We both missed that train. I had a friend who had 3 of them and sold 2 of them for $33,000 a piece. And he's only holding on to one just so he still has access to do whatever he wants to do. And he took that $66,000 and put it on a down payment for his house. And I'm not lying about that. That's dead ass. He got 3 Doodles. They were up to $33,000 a piece. Sold 2 of them and put it as a down payment for his house. And this is why we do this shit.
Yep. All right, let's get into this one. This one's very interesting right here. Vinny, the Porsche stuff.
Yeah, so Porsche, I don't know why they did this. All right. So they were minting 7,500 NFTs at 0.911 ETH per, right? And that was you know how much that is, Marcus? 0.911. I think it's about $1,500, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there right now.
$1,500 each, and they were doing 7,500 of them. It was too many. It was just way too ambitious. I think, especially, we're still in this bear market. People are spending money, but man, that's a lot. I think what would have really worked is if they did 911, at 0.911, because it's a steep buy-in, right? So anyways, they mint out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and they only sold 1,400 of the NFTs, right? So then everybody starts pretty much cracking on them all day long. They started making memes. They made an NFT called Porsche, POORSCHE, to make fun of it. And it was down below the floor of 0.911. It was down to 0.88 ETH. You could grab it, but I think everybody was thinking, why would I buy that when there's still so many left? Now, if you guys notice, it's up at 2.462 ETH. So basically, they cut the supply. They said, okay, that's it. That's all the pieces there are. I guess it looks like they minted a few more after. So 2,363 now is how many they have. I think they must have cut it. So now people are FOMOing back into it. So you could have actually made like a pretty substantial amount of money if you did buy in. I know it was a high buy-in. It was also a gamble. But I don't know. What do you think, Marcus? It was probably 50-50, right? About whether.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely a 50-50 thing. I'm mad I didn't do it, just to be honest with you. I saw it And I laughed because I was like, yo, I'm not spending $1,500 on a Porsche NFT. And I was looking at all the down talk on it, but see, this is what I'm saying to you. Like, bro, we constantly will miss moves like this because we're looking at what the market is saying instead of following what you and I both know, Vinny, we probably should have did. So, man, let me just go and throw some money to this and let me just see. Because
I mean, I was watching it. I was watching it the whole time, and really the thing I was watching was, is this going to mint out? Is it even going to get close? Because not everybody's going to cut their supply, and if they don't cut their supply, then it's like you just bought something and you're just losing money immediately. So,
right. So let me so let me address the people that are talking in the chat who's like the no flush turds. And should I start selling my no flush turds? And
it started ahead of that, dude.
Yeah,
they're talking about me So I'm not talking shit about pun intended.
This is just leg. This is just big leg.
Well, I could take
nobody else
flush turds and mint them whenever. Absolutely,
you can address it right here.
No two are the same, right? No. They're all super rare. They're all ultra rare, dude.
Well, I'm gonna be honest.
They're all different colors and stuff, man.
Can we mint those? Let's make our own NFT. Let's no flush turds.
Oh, they already have
no
like.
Flush turds.
They already
have.
They have poops and all types.
The toilets. I can't think of the toilets.
NFTs for fecophiliacs.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So
So just so you guys know, so if you did buy it right when it was at its lowest, the profit would have been $2,600 today. If you bought it yesterday,
that is what I'm talking about. And so when people say, "No, I'll stick with silver, consumer good, tangible comics, and things like that," I'm not mad at you. So I mean, this ain't it. I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to the person who is saying, okay, I want to get in front of the future of what this shit is. Because eventually everybody that I see on here that is responding, and you can quote me on this, everybody that I see on here saying that I'll never do it, 5 years from now, I guarantee you will have an NFT somewhere. You will have it. And if you don't have it, you will be probably one of the only rare people that don't have it.
Well, this is very interesting right here, Marcus, and it's something that you brought up, that it sounds like crypto adoption is on the rise in Latin America. That's a big deal.
Man, look, I'm telling you, it's and this is real. And here's the why that Bitcoin is being a potential common currency for Brazil and Argentina, right? So the crypto winter has not slowed down the adoption of assets in Latin America, with USD peg stablecoins being of particular interest. Adoption of these assets is expected to continue to rise this year, with countries that are experiencing high levels of inflation. So what they're doing to combat inflation is that they're jumping over to cryptocurrency. He also added the guy, Mauricio, whatever his name is, founder of Canada-based lending platform, Ledin. It's a popular platform amongst Latin American adopters. He also added that in 2023, stable coin adoption will hike because of inflation, and it's going to be much higher amid macroeconomic turbulence. So what you're starting to find out, well, let me go further. Adoption is also increasing in the area of consumer spending. A recent study by MasterCard says that in 2022, 51% of consumers in Latin America had already used crypto for at least one transaction, and that 1/3 of the consumers had used stable coins, compared to 11% usage amongst global competitors. So let me tell you what that breaks down to. Over in Latin America, they have the choice to use crypto or cash, and they're using crypto. Stop. That's
a big deal. Yep, that's a big deal. That's huge.
Yeah.
So this next one is really big because, we've been talking about it. We've been seeing a lot of the people complaining about it and a lot of the artists going crazy. And now it's being talked about as, in Congress and all kinds of stuff. And that's the open AI stuff. And Microsoft is getting in on it. They're not against it. They're buying in on open AI, and they're shutting down other parts of, their company to get in on open AI.
Yeah, absolutely. Microsoft plans to lay off 10,000 employees and is investing billions of dollars into its partnership with OpenAI, a research company behind ChatGPT and Dale 2. The news has sent shockwaves through the tech industry and as the company's decision will drastically change the landscape of its future, along with virtual reality and artificial intelligence sectors. The news comes shortly after major headlines last week announcing that they're laying off 10,000 employees to cut costs and gear focus towards AI.
Big
Again,
money, you guys. There is
big
money
money.
in it. They don't have to pay AI. They don't have to, worry about HR with AI. There's big money. And on top of that, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Marvel digital apps not updating in wake of the Comixology layoffs. So this keys in on it. You guys, the digital landscape is changing big time. And the AI is a big part of it. So that's very interesting. The next thing, Woodstock brings in its storied music festival to the metaverse. Of course. The Woodstock guys are going to grift any way they can.
Yeah, allowing global audiences to discover new and emerging artists, right? So Woodstock Music and Art Fair, better known as Woodstock, has announced that it plans to bring its festival to the metaverse through a partnership with Sequin AR. Sequin specializes in high-fidelity blockchain-based productions with past deliverables, including Mariah Carey's Magical Christmas that happened on Apple TV and the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade for NBC, Madonna and Maluma's BMA performance, and more. With the help of Sequin, it is Woodstock's goal to make new and budding artists more discoverable to a global audience. So Woodstock coming to the metaverse.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Those guys want to make money any way they can until their dying day.
Be riot, raping, and looting in metaverse. So
yeah,
bro, it's already raping. It's already raping and looting in comics. So what's the difference? There's no difference.
Woodstock is ready to bring back, baby.
Yeah.
Fred Durst at the helm of it.
Yeah.
Speaking about non-flushable turds, let's get into some Dookie Dash.
Man, listen, I love this. I love this Dookie Dash, right?
Good segue.
So, yeah.
Brian,
so
segues.
Yeah, so Bored Ape Yacht Club continues its storytelling with Dookie Dash and the Sewer Pass launch, right? So for those who have, Bored Ape or, want to be close to it, I know some of you NFT people that on here, and not all comic people want to know all about the Dookie Dash and what's going on with Bored Ape. Following the story of Jimmy the Monkey and the Mysterious Key, Bored Ape Yacht Club presents a new limited time game entitled Dookie Dash. Releasing as a skill-based mint, players will participate in an endless runner-style game and compete to see who can set the highest score. To gain access to Dookie Dash, a player must first acquire a sewer pass, which is now available to claim for free for base C ecosystem holders in various tiers. So if you have a Bored Ape, I think if you have a Mutant Ape, any of that, you can get it for free. Interested participants who don't own a base C can play the game by picking up a sewer pass in secondary markets, something many have already done based on the more than $12 million in secondary sales at the time of this writing.
They're going for 4,400, by the way, those sewer passes now, Marcus.
Let's take a look at this. You ready?
4,400.
4,400.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think holding people are speculating that holding these sewer passes is gonna turn into something else down the line. So people are kind of, they're saying that this skill-based game that you're doing is basically going to level up your NFT.
Yeah.
This is me back when the hydrocodones and Oxycontin were flowing.
Flowing.
And nothing was flowing back then. I was like this. Jesus
oh
Christ.
Boy.
Yeah, it definitely backed
ripped a damn hole in the space-time continuum and ripped a damn hole in my asshole.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. So it's,
I had surgery once. They gave me a bunch of Vicodin, and it's also the same time I started Atkins.
Couldn't shit for a week, huh?
Oh my good Lord. Anyway, go ahead. You could have made an NFT out of that. I minted 40 of them in there.
Oh, okay. Well,
I tell you what, if you want to tell kids the horror of addiction, all you got to tell them is you won't be able to shit for a week, and they won't use drugs, man. I'm telling you.
Bro, listen, You know, this conversation has really went somewhere else.
We're only like 35 minutes in, dude. So
Dookie Dash.
give me another hour. We get back to poop. All right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sitting on the. Well, okay. Well, hey. Anyway, Dookie Dash is available if you want to buy the sewer pass. As Vinny said, it's $4,400. For the people that don't have a Bored Ape or a Mutant Ape or anything Yuga Labs, right?
These were only like $1,000 last week, Marcus. So they've got. Yeah.
And see, and this is the thing that's blowing my mind. It's like it's like I feel like we're beating our head right against the wall because it's like we're literally telling you, yo, this shit was 1,000 last week, and this week it's almost 5,000. And you're gonna look me in my face and say, no, fuck you, I'm still gonna buy comic books in silver. I'm like, it's crazy to me. And I'm not saying don't buy the comic books in silver, but I'm sitting there telling you where the money is, where the money resides. And you're looking at me like, yo, not fungible turd. That's what we're laughing at. We're laughing at turds coming out of Big Leg's ass instead of talking about, hey, you can spend $1,000 here and it's worth 5,000 next week. Where are you getting these kind of odds outside of playing the fucking lottery? I'm confused. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, people were saying, they were like, listen, just get in on anything Yuga Labs at this point. Buy the land, buy the sewer pass. I mean, this is what people were saying a week ago. They were like, just get anything. Right. It's all
I'll
these
tell you what
keep going.
I'll tell you what I think it is. I think it's this. They're worried that this is going to happen. A kid, here's from Rafsby himself. You guys know we had Rafsby on talking about a kid called Beast. It was an amazing episode. Make sure you guys go check it out. Great dude. On his Twitter, just yesterday or the day before, a couple days ago, he says, our kid called Beast account on Twitter just got hacked. Do not click any links.
I'm glad you brought this up, brother, because you know I'm ready for the smoke. I'm right here next to it. Vinny will tell you I talk to Raspy on a regular play-by-play. I'm not here to defend the man or tell you whatever. I'm looking. You can see the facts. You can follow the breadcrumbs. Literally right before they were going to mint, somebody supposedly, what they're saying is that it was somebody from the inside of Twitter, but that has not been confirmed. Somebody from the inside of Twitter or whoever got a hold of this, right when they were getting ready to put up the link to post for mint, hacked into their Twitter page and started putting up a fake link. And that link everybody was going to thinking it was the real link, and it was draining wallets. So let's talk about that. What they did to fix that, they closed all of their shit out. They got back into their Kid Called Beast thread. And what you were finding was that everybody that already had a beast, everybody that was already on the Kid Called Beast side were coming to help them. People in other NFTs, people from other successful blue chip NFTs were coming in and trying to help Kid Called Beast because nobody wants this to happen. And then something just happened today with not Pudgy Penguins, but it's another one that just went crazy. Moonbirds, I think, just had a thing that happened. That's part in my world, and this is just being honest, that's part of the wild west of this shit. Just like if you go and buy a bunch of sports cards, you may buy a bunch of cards and ain't shit in it, but you just spent $600, $700, $800 on bust, and you can't make it all make sense. It is what it is, right? But at the end of the day, this is a new form of whatever you want to call it. This is a new form of
art, collectibles,
collectibles, currency, all of that. This is a new, and just like, the gold rush back in the day is, you want to be the person looking for the gold, or do you want to be the person creating the shovels? You see what I'm saying? It is what it is. My thing is that you're going to have bumps in the road. You're going to have things like that. But at the end of the day, it does not negate the fact that just on another NFT, you could have bought it for $1,000 last week, and it's worth $5,000 this week. If you were able to buy a Kid Called Beast last week, this week you could have bought it last week for I think $140. This week, for the people that have them, they're starting at $1,500. 1600. So it's not even about the hacking and the attacking. It's still standing here, and it's still going to be here after they mint, and it's still going to be here after they do all the shit that they're going to do. So my thing is that, bro, go where the money resides. Do your research. It's not financial advice, but if we're showing you where the money is, that's what this whole thing is about. Sean, when you start talking today, you're going to give somebody some nuggets on where some shit is, where the money is. Ferg, when you start talking today, you're going to give somebody some shit on where the money is. Bryan, your market report is going to tell people where the money is. Vinny, you just ugly. I don't know what goes on with that. But what I'm saying is that, you know,
Well,
I'm here all week. But what I am here to say is
we're gonna get a strike from bullying, Marcus. Good job.
You say what?
So we're gonna get a strike from bullying.
It's not nice.
Look, shit. I'm sorry. Okay, look, whatever. I mean, you know what it is. It is what it is. Truth hurts. But what I'm saying is truth hurts. I mean, whatever. But what I'm saying is this: do your research. It's the new frontier. Be at the front of it. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't have told them people back in the day that, hey, this Superman comic is going to be a thing one day. You couldn't have told these people that an AF-15 was going to be what it is right now for us. Who knew when this man started these comics that there was going to be a cartoon and movies and all this other shit? The shit would still be here 50, 60 years later. So just do your research. Find out what you want to find out. Do the math. We just here to deliver the news to you.
Yeah, and I think if people are scared, just move in slowly. That's what a lot of people are doing. They're getting their wallet. They're starting out with small things. We're trying to give you, like when I went through like the kind of undervalued projects a few weeks ago, every single one of those is something Marcus and I have discussed, and all of those are up now. We follow the market, so it is a learning curve, and there is education there, but Brian's Comic Garage, for example, was saying there's a lot of misses as well in the NFT space. Absolutely. Just like there's a lot of misses in the comic spec space, right? But we're not really jumping into a ton of new projects. A Kid Called Beast, this is something that Marcus vetted a long time ago. We brought him on early, and this is something we already knew about early on. There's other projects like that from time to time we will mention. But yeah, absolutely. You don't want to just go in and people come in and they make mistakes and they just buy one of every new thing that's trending on OpenSea. That's not the right thing to do. So we're not saying that. We're just saying, look at the trusted brands of NFTs that are out there. Something like Dookie Dash, Sewer Passes, Yuga Labs is winning. Everything they put out has won so far. That was an easy tell. Like, if you had the money to do it, you should have just bought in when a Sewer Pass first came out.
Let me say this just to and we can move forward. Bro, you think about it like this. When Bored Ape Yacht Club came out, they were basically trying to tell people spend $800 to buy a digital monkey. It's an art digital monkey. And the ones that did it are now happy owners, because guess what? That same digital monkey is worth how much right now, Vinny? Anywhere between $80,000 to $90,000?
Yeah.
$800 you spent. Where are you going to get that kind of return? $800.
You want to know where?
Please tell me.
Buying fake Babe Ruth autographs.
All right. Great segue, Vinny.
Segues are amazing tonight. I mean, I love it.
For those of you guys that don't know, there's some crazy Babe Ruth information going on out there right now. This is going to start it off. 2022 Topps Luminaries put a Babe Ruth cut signature in their product this year that was most likely signed by his secretary. So this is a very well-known thing with Babe Ruth autographs. A lot of his autographs, not a lot of them, but a nice amount have been found out to be signed by his secretary. And there's ways you can tell based on how he puts his quotes and how he signs stuff. So the only thing with this, my problem with this is Topps, you guys. This is one of the biggest sports collectible companies in the world, and they've been doing it for 100 years. what is going on? This should never happen in Topps. Well, that's funny. You're right. It should never happen. But this right here is Panini pulling the same shit, right? And I don't know what is worse. Topps putting in a fake Babe Ruth autograph or Panini putting a George Brett autograph on a Babe Ruth card. Could you imagine opening up 2022 National Treasures, pulling this Babe Ruth 1/1 cut auto and realizing it's George Brett's autograph? This is real, you guys.
I'm gonna tell you, I would look at that and I probably would get even more excited because even though Babe Ruth is not there, it is a error card, and those error cards tend to go stupid. I don't care how you line it up.
Yeah,
I just
I'd rather
really
have a
would.
Babe Ruth.
I'd rather have a Babe Ruth.
Yeah, give me
I would rather have a Babe Ruth. I'm not here to say don't have a Babe Ruth, but like for instance, the person that has the George whatever with the Babe Ruth signature. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Not only did they put did they put the Babe Ruth, the George Brett autograph on the Babe Ruth? They put the Babe Ruth autograph on the George Brett. Could you imagine how happy you would be pulling the George Brett? You're like, oh, George Brett's good. Holy shit, they put Babe Ruth autograph on there.
Yeah,
it's
you're not
cool.
getting that back from me.
Yeah, you're definitely Topps is not getting this back from me. Exactly, you're right. Yeah,
there's nothing.
I'm not trading the Babe for the George. There is no chance.
What do you think Panini's going to have to do for
another
this?
1/1 with that autograph if you want.
Yeah,
but like otherwise, I'm keeping that shit, dude.
Vinny, let me ask you. You're a lawyer. What do you think Panini's going to have to do? Like, what would you think they were going to do with this stuff?
You mean when people are coming back and telling them about it? I mean, I would assume they'd have to try to replace it with an actual Babe Ruth signature, or give them some sort of compensation. I mean, it's kind of
settlement
messed up. Yeah,
dude. Holy cow, man. That's absolutely crazy. Well, it doesn't end there, you guys. This is you guys, we've talked about this for a while. Backyard Breaks, one of the biggest breakers on the platform, aka Whatnot. A lot of issues with Backyard Breaks over the last 2 years. Major issues. If you remember correctly, they had an issue where they were pulling all the major product hits. Well, they pulled another one. They pulled an actual Babe Ruth cut auto. They pulled this one, this 1/1 recently, and this is out of tier 1, I believe. And Backyard Breaks seems to be pulling all the hits. Well, here's something else that's interesting about Backyard Breaks. They're starting to lose all of their star influencers, right? Just like how everybody's mad about the Whatnot comic influencers that Whatnot has kind of put their cart behind, right? Well, they did the same thing on the card side. And if you remember, Backyard Breaks is the company that had the silly the silly guys that, wearing the half shirts and looking like goofballs and screaming over some crazy auto pull, right? Well, all those people are starting to bail on the owner of Backyard Breaks. They're starting to leave for other companies. They're two of their biggest breakers on Backyard Breaks have left. One of the female breakers and the really famous one, the goofball Nikki, whatever his name is, who was part of the Gold Kaboom poll, is bailing too. So people are starting to get big heads in the industry now, and I can't find any of those people now. I don't know if they scrubbed them from their IG, because you can't find, I don't see any of them on here. They must have scrubbed them from their IG. So here we go, you guys. Influencers. Here he is. This is the guy that's bailing, the famous Nikki. I forget his name, some stupid name. This guy's a goofball, but just like all the other goofballs, they're making money and they're going to go sign with another breaker. And this is what's crazy to me. These breakers are becoming celebrities. They're becoming people that are being courted. What are you going to start trading breakers like from team to team? Like, what the hell?
Free agency.
You know what I mean?
That's so weird.
Yeah, that guy's really good at breaking.
I know, dude.
He's really good at opening product and screaming.
Yeah, it's
so
these goofy.
Yeah.
They're gonna
start.
give us these fucking I see these common people with talking shit on here, man. These guys, I'm sorry, these card breakers, these card dudes, they're goofy as fuck. Like almost all of them, man. The down to earth ones are the ones, and you're just having like when you're having a good time. Was okay. I've like the only breaks I've bought in mostly were who I felt were like regular people giving me a deal on real fucking product. You know what I mean? I'm not in there fighting and arguing with like these big ones. I understand that's people's hobby. I don't care that these dudes make money doing this shit. But like, I didn't believe in QVC when I was a fucking kid either. You know what I mean? And I think I bought a couple boxes of crap on QVC that definitely would, for sure. All the ones they opened happened to have 85 McGuire Olympic cards in them. But I got like a team baseball in my box. Right? You know what I mean? Just like, holy shit. Like, right. I knew they were full of shit back. I was like, yeah. And I was like, I knew better. Like eventually.
Do they just make money off breaking cards, or do they sell the cards? Like, how do they make money?
So they make money off breaking, right? They people buy into the breaks. They pay, they either, and then they make profit on the people buying into the breaks, and then they send those cards to the people. But they're making money off of those breaks because they're buying a box for, say, they buy a box for $1,000, and then they charge each person, they charge 20 people $200 to jump into the break. You know what I mean, or something like that. That's how they make their money. They also will scheme. I mean, a lot of these breakers, including Backyard Breaks, have been in trouble for scheming and hiding polls and lying about giving away cards that they said they were going to give away, that they don't give away because it's too expensive, it's too big of a card. Listen, there are some scumbags out there in the collectibles world, and they're just waiting to pounce. Just like any other place, there's people that are waiting to take advantage of people. But it is what it is, and there's even more like this right here. Original sealed copy of Pokemon Yellow worth almost $10,500 has been ruined by customs. You guys think eBay shipping is bad? Could you imagine having this happen to you?
Yeah, this is awful, man. This was an actual like graded game, and customs just broke it open to see what was inside. What I've heard people say is that hopefully it will work, but you got to leave some sort of note just saying that it's a collectible video game, worth a lot of money. Like, please don't break it. But I'll be honest. So when I was searching for Fortnite, I bought a copy from a guy in Kuwait, right? And on top of it, Grand Theft Auto, the PC version, I bought from a guy in the UK, sealed. Both of them were sealed. I was nervous as shit, waiting for these packages to come back, because I was like, damn, is customs going to open up my game? In both these situations, they're not cheap, but it was just a risk that I kind of took. But you always have to worry about that with sealed games. They may just open them up. I've seen a lot of horror stories with games getting opened up during international shipping. So
yeah, I wonder. And so I'm surprised that all the years shipping shit around that I guess I haven't really encountered this. Is there what would be the recourse? Plus, because also having insurance on these things got to vary, especially country to country. Like, I sold an expensive book the other day. I pay for the insurance. It's more for like, honestly, they're not going to pay me out. But if they fucking lose it and don't deliver it and it doesn't get signed for, that's what I'm thinking. They drop it and it cracks the slab or something. Definitely, I'm the one who's going to have to pay for that. I get that. But like, we're going, I don't know, maybe we could deal with Canada or something like that. But like from Kuwait, like what recourse would you possibly have if they fucked your shit up? Any?
I don't know. I don't even think it was insured. I was like, hey man, he was like, don't worry, man. I got it packed really sturdy in here. I was like, I don't care. I was like, I care about that, but this thing could be opened by, I don't know how customs is coming out of there. You know what I mean? So
no.
Probably going to be open.
Well, how many? Yeah, that happens a lot, man. That happens a lot where they open them up like that.
Or just or let's be, I don't know, crooked workers. You know, I think we watch ours decently over here. I haven't really had too many terrible USPS stories. That's me knocking on wood over here, dude. It's me knocking on my desk. Although I'm not sure.
Okay, listen, boy, I thought them boys was at my house.
Like, interrupt the show.
So I'm trying to, so I really wonder, what the, what it is, dude. You know what I mean? You get handcuffs on you in Mexico. It's just gonna cost a few dollars, right?
Yeah.
You get them on you over here, you can't bribe anybody.
This is pretty cool.
I mean,
this is something.
I got out of
another thing.
105-mile-an-hour ticket last weekend.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Yeah,
not bad. Did you have to suck some dick or what?
Oh, honestly, I just swallowed. It was crazy.
Whoa! What happened this went?
Hey man,
last week.
$105. $105. All right, you guys. Genesis fans out there, we talked about Sonic last week. Yeah,
so sick.
Check this out. This is actually really cool looking, man. This is the Sega Genesis Watch, 16-bit gaming system that brought you your favorite retro games, is now available as a watch. So pretty damn cool.
Is that a watch band? Is it for the Apple Watch? Is that an Apple Watch?
I don't know. That's a great question.
It looks like an Apple Watch.
I mean,
it's $60. It's $60.
It's not an Apple Watch.
Not an Apple Watch.
Sold.
Yeah, I think that's badass looking. It looks really good.
Oh, it's a watch band. Look, see, it says the 16-bit gaming system that brought you your favorite retro video game is now available for your watch band.
Oh,
I would get that. I would rock.
Yeah. So just the band, and then you can get the thing for your Apple Watch. Yeah, that's cool as hell.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. Sega gaming system, man, is usually for those people that were mad when they were a kid that didn't get the Nintendo. They got the Sega, but then they fell in love with it, right? Mm-hmm. So this is pretty cool too. Check this out. You guys have heard of these before. These come out all the time. Gems of the Game repack boxes. You'll see them in like Walgreens or Walmart, and every once in a while they'll say, oh, you could get this Michael Jordan rookie in there, or you could get this crazy card in here. And usually when you open it, it's like $1 card that you're surprised anybody would grade. Well, somebody pulled the Jordan out of the Gems of the Game Jordan packs recently. Crazy. Could you imagine pulling a near mint 8 Michael Jordan out of one of these? Like, you never think that you're going to. For the longest time, people said that, oh, the PSA slabs don't even fit in the boxes, so you're never going to pull one. Well, somebody finally pulled one. That's pretty damn cool, man.
Can you imagine you pulled it, it's cracked in half and bent?
Oh, my God, dude.
That cheap-ass cardboard?
Oh, bro.
So how much is one of those cards? How much is one of those cards? Right?
$10,000.
$10,000 probably. But it was probably 80 like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Nines were $20,000 a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was off.
So $6,000 to $9,000, I'd probably say, something like that.
But they can hold on to it and it'll just appreciate.
Oh yeah. Jordan card is the top 3 sports cards of all time, right? I mean, it's that iconic. So yeah,
if I had that, I'd have to, it'd go on the my bottom 5 list of shit I'm gonna sell.
Could you imagine like if you open that on video, you're like, I'm just gonna open this on video, you know what I mean? Pulling that out was like pulling out a Babe Ruth cut signature, you know what I mean? It's crazy stuff. It's absolutely gorgeous. But I would be just as stoked as pulling this. Immaculate Collection started putting Reebok's pumps on Dominique cards. Wasn't it D Brown that also did the pumps before his dunk in
he beat Sean Kemp in the dunk contest.
I don't know why covering your eyes is fucking that big of a dunk, but
hey, Cedric Sabalos, baby.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, sure you can. That's a scream mask, dude.
Listen, I had a pair of those. I had a pair of those pump shoes. I pumped it up and still didn't hit the ball in the net. The shit it's a scam. It was a scam.
Dude, I wanted those so bad.
Yeah, much love, Adam.
And I got in trouble, and that was the worst moment of my life. My mom drove me home from school, and I was in big ass trouble. She said, "Your dad wasn't gonna get you the pumps too." Fuck.
Man, I put on. Let me tell
Other
you
than they held my Nintendo for over a year, my grandparents bought it for me.
I put them pumps on.
A wild kid, dude.
I put them pumps on, tried to play basketball. That ball got rejected and hit back in my face. I threw my LA gear back on. I wasn't playing with y'all. I said, I'm done playing the game. I ain't playing it no more. Y'all can have it.
I had a Olajuwon
Alright.
LA Gears with the red and black twisties on the side.
Come on now.
One of my favorite
yeah.
pair of shoes, fucking literally ever.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
yeah,
gonna show you guys something crazy, right? Like this is one of those cards that you can imagine finding somewhere. Like I can't believe somebody kept this. You ready?
There are only hours left for you to bid on the Mark Zuckerberg rookie card. This is a one-of-a-kind event for ComicConnect.com. One-of-a-kind item, Mark Zuckerberg rookie card, signed by 8-year-old Mark Zuckerberg, one of the most important people in the world, as well as the NFT. The card is currently at $63,000, the NFT at about 1 Ethereum. Bidding ends at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight on nft.comicconnect.com. Bid away. Good luck.
I don't know what it went for, but this is a 1992 Mark Zuckerberg. You remember when you played Little League and they got picture day and they told your parents, hey, we can turn one of these pictures into like a fake baseball card for you. Well, that's what this is. And that is awesome, dude. How crazy is that?
Yeah, that's crazy that it was kept that long. But what grading company is that?
It's SGC.
Oh,
SGC.
okay. It's like
Yeah,
Even
it looks
A?
good.
yeah.
Authentic, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, authentic. Oh,
Authentic.
gosh.
I
Yeah,
think-
the autograph. Because it's
I
autograph
think I've got a couple of my own. I really do.
of your
In the
own.
garage.
Yeah.
got
growing
that
up,
of mine,
they gave
so,
us the cards. My favorite's still the big clutch.
Yes, I love the big clutch. Hold on, let me show that.
This is so
Yeah,
dope,
dude.
Nice.
I want to
Shout out
foil
to Big
one.
Clutch, our good friend it's got the stats on the back,
Oh, the
career
old
stuff,
school?
everything.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
shout out to Big Clutch, man.
I want to
This is
foil.
my boy. It came with that, dude. There we go. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Clutch where he got those done because I want to make some. I want to make some for sure.
I got like some badass comic books in this box from him, and I got that in there, and it's by far. See, I don't
That's
even
so
remember
cool.
what comic books they were, but I'm sitting here and
Yeah.
I'm sure they're invincible or something. But I'm sitting
Well,
here with the sweet ass Big Clutch rookie.
A Babe Ruth autograph, all that stuff was crazy. But could you imagine pulling this out of a pack of NBA hoops? So this is Bones Highland autograph, and when he signs Bones, but his S kind of looks like an R there.
It's unfortunate. It really is.
Yeah,
He's cool
yeah.
with it though. I'm sure he's fine with it. He's like, leave it.
100% he
dude.
wrote boner on purpose. There's not any way, shape, or form that is a fucking S. That is a lowercase R or the words V anyone's ever see. And so that is this is right. He's writing boner on shit thinking it's funny. That's some fuck face right there. That's some Billy Ripken. There's no dude. I write S's all the time. Okay, my name's Sean.
Well, could you imagine like how many
look like that, dude?
you got to sign 1,000 times, right? He's signing that 1,000 times. So that's like the crazy part to me is how many times you got to sign that, right?
Boner,
Like,
boner.
yeah. Another quick card thing that's pretty cool. This is the famous 1982 TCMA Oneida Yankees John Elway card. If you guys don't know, I always grew up thinking John Elway's nickname was Pussy, right? Because my dad, every time we would watch the Broncos, he would go, John Elway's such a pussy. And I couldn't remember, I couldn't figure out why until I asked him one day, and he goes, yeah, he got drafted but he's going to get drafted by a team he didn't like. So he said, well, I'm going to go play baseball instead of getting drafted by you guys. So he went and played baseball for the Yankees, right? And he got drafted I guess the next year. You guys can go watch it. There's a famous 30 for 30 based on the 83 NFL draft, which of course had Dan Marino, John Elway. They call it the greatest quarterback draft of all time. It's kind of been changed, I think, since recently. But this is a really tough card to find, and a lot of people don't know about this. This is one of the grails for a lot of people out there. It'd be pretty cool to have this. This was put out and if you guys don't know how these cards are put out, if you had a minor league ball club in your town, they would sponsor card team sets every year, and they would put out a team set. They would make them themselves, and they put them out themselves. And you can find a lot of cool cards. The famous Cal Ripken one, there's a famous Ryan Sandberg one. There's a lot of them that are from minor league teams that are tough to find, but this is one of the most famous. So for all you Yeah, exactly. Brad Selden. He was going to get drafted by the Colts, and he cried about it. And you know what? I can't complain as I got older because Eli Manning did the same thing, and I'm a Giants fan. You know, so
Yeah, he wouldn't hold up the Chargers shit.
Yeah. So
yeah, I remember I grew up in Richmond, Virginia, and they had the Richmond Braves, which was the minor league team for the Atlanta Braves, and I remember there being like I had a Steve Avery card, a minor league card, and I remember Deion Sanders playing there for a minute as well, and I believe he had a minor league card. From that time period where he was playing there, but pretty cool.
And Deion was drafted by the Yankees, and then he went to the Braves, which is crazy. You know, a lot of the Yankees drafted a lot of these crazy players. All right, Bitcoin, right? How about this one, you guys?
On the Elway, was that a Dale Murphy, or is that dude actually hit left-handed?
He actually hits left-handed.
Okay,
interesting.
Weirdo. All right, sorry.
All right, this is from 2018 Topps Allen and Ginter. You guys know Allen Ginter. I hate it because they have the little mini cards, but they'll put some crazy cards in it every once in a while. And this is back when Bitcoin first came out, and they made a Bitcoin card, right? This is the card number 83, the Bitcoin cryptocurrency card. And somebody put one up on eBay for $35,000. Pretty interesting. I don't know. I just think it's a little cool little gimmick thing. For NFT fans in the card world. This is the black. It might be a 101, but I'm not sure. But not only that, there's also this, which is kind of cool. I love gas trading cards. They do all these cool types of trading cards. They've been doing cool original trading cards for a long time. And they did these a couple year ago, the NFT Bored Ape cards. So they look really, really good. And this is one of them. Make sure you guys go follow Gas Trading Cards on IG. Really, really good stuff. So, all right. We'll save the rest of the really cool social media finds for next week. Let's continue on with some of our segments this week. I want to get into shout out to Ferd, who dropped a really cool presentation that we're going to start doing here called 5 for 5, which, can you explain this, Ferd? What is your thought process on the 5 for 5 stuff?
Yeah, so just kind of, a lot of people always ask, like, oh, is this a good collectible or comic or what have you to hold for like long term, or should I flip it? And so I was just kind of thinking about things that are kind of new-ish or kind of coming to fruition like now that I would either not mind holding for 5 years or may take a little bit of time to get up in value. So kind of like your low entry, but you got to be patient, like you can't just flip things. So a lot of these collectibles are just kind of low entry. So if it doesn't pan out, you don't lose your wad, or, they could blow up. So let's take a look at it.
All right, let's get into it. I love this. All right, starting off, we have got a baseball card here.
Yeah, and so a lot of these items I chose are like probably a little either obscure or just really cheap, but they're fairly new. So Felton Celestin is the number. Sorry, cat's going crazy on me. He is the number 2 international prospect of the past year. So 2023's international prospect signing. He got signed by the Mariners, so I know a little bit about him just because I am from Seattle and all that. He's 6'1". He's only 17. He's been compared to Marco Luciano, Wander Franco, and Robert Paulson, but they say his ceiling's a little bit higher than those guys.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I was kind of reading about him last October, November, I was just curious. Oh, I wonder if this guy has any cards out, So I found this card specifically for like $40 to $50. People were this is the Elite Extra Edition. It's like it's an amateur basically it's an amateur card set that you can get autos in. It's kind of hard to get, like they go for like $30 like a blaster box. So it's kind of hard to get autos, like specific autos. So it's easier just to buy them like single on eBay or whatever. At the time, they were going for like $50 to $100, but now they've kind of I wouldn't say exploded, but they've gone up a little bit because the international signing period just ended. so there's a little bit more eyes on the top 100 prospects. But I mean, look here. I mean, that 2,500 is kind of an outlier, but like $104. Like if this guy turns out to be Julio Rodriguez, Wander Franco, I mean, this is his first autograph card from 2020.
Wow, this is nice. This is cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't even have any Topps cards yet. This is all what Leaf is Panini maybe stuff. So
yeah,
because it's
Panini,
amateur. Yeah.
So, and they're
Very
nice
cool.
looking cards, you know. So anyway.
Yeah, I like them. That's cool. All right, next.
So Steelbooks. So some people in the Discord kind of got me on this Steelbook kind of research, I guess you call it. So I think someone had mentioned, what was it? The Logan Steelbook was going for like $90 online or whatever. So, I mean, Game of Thrones, you know, the new season just came out, ended, and I thought it was a great prequel to the Game of Thrones series. I saw this at a Best Buy and just kind of was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind picking this up. So I picked it up on a whim of, I don't know anybody that owns like a 4K DVD player or let alone a 4K DVD. So I got to assume that they're low print run because I just kind of compare it to like newsstands from 2011, you know? But if you still want, and Steelbooks are kind of like, I'd say like the kind of the prism of like movies, right? Like they're pretty much the one to get. So $35 buy-in, you could probably get it on sale maybe in a week or two. And if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, like this is a great collectible to have. It's really clean. It's got nice artwork on the front, but it could go up to $100. Buy a few copies and see what happens.
Yeah. Shout out to Paul W. and Trey, both early adopters of the Steelbook speculation. So very cool. Shout out to the Cosmic One who says Best Buy Steelbooks were nice. And he also says the Pez Outlaw on Netflix is a must-see. I agree. Check out the Pez Outlaw. All right. Next, we have got Stars of the World Cup.
Yeah. So magazines are kind of like my new frontier lately. I've been kind of on a search for magazines. I think last week we talked about the Sports Illustrated, that kind of scene or whatnot. But Messi cemented his legacy this year. If I was a soccer collector, I'd want this book. And it's basically why I bought it. Basically, this is just like the last issue commemorating the World Cup. You can find it at Barnes & Noble still for $11.99. It's U.S. market. We don't really care about, soccer as much as like the rest of the world. So this could be a nice play to have, not just only domestically, but like foreign. You may have a foreign buyer like, oh, cool. I never knew this magazine existed. I'm a big Messi fan, or I'm from Argentina, whatever. And I kind of compared it to being like Jordan winning like his last NBA championship or like his one and only being the greatest. It's kind of the same kind of concept here. And again, $11.99, send it to CGC, wait a year. Your $50 investment can be like, $100, $200. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Very, very cool. Yeah. All right. And I think we got this right here. This is very interesting.
All right. So I just kind of went on a whim on this one. I'm not a huge I'm not a huge alcohol guy, but I like cognac. I used to drink cognac back, like not heavily, but just kind of like not whiskey so much, but like more cognac. So this is Shannon Sharp's company. And my thought process was Ace of Spades, right? So I don't know if you guys know the whole story, but Jay-Z, he approached LVMH, so the makers of Moet, Louis Vuitton, all that. And he was like, I want to make an alcohol with you guys and collaborate. And they're basically like, nah, we're good. So he was like, well, screw you. I'm Jay-Z. I'm going to make Ace of Spades. And I mean, Ace of Spades goes for like, I don't know, it's like $300 a bottle, like new. But imagine having like an original Ace of Spades champagne from when Jay-Z first started the company. This is kind of the same thought process. I don't know if that was the same controversy. Like, I don't know if Shannon Sharp went to like an alcohol company, was like, hey, do you want to make this with me? And they told him just, no, we're good. It goes for $89 a bottle. It's actually pretty tasty, to be honest. I picked up a couple bottles of it just for fun, and you know what they say about alcohol is like it only gets better with age, right? So, but who knows? It might blow up, and it might do an Ace of Spades kind of thing. So we'll see.
What
Yeah.
about what's his name's whiskey? Proper 12.
McGregor.
McGregor,
Right. Yeah.
It's, I mean, I don't know. It's like an $18 price point. So collectability is probably not. I don't know if he has any more proprietary stuff. Charles Woodson has been doing Woodson wines and Intercept wines and Woodson whiskey for a bit now. It tastes good. I've had it being at Raider events. It's not cheap. I don't know what their top end is on that stuff, but like, I don't know. That's possibly like another player, because I mean he's super beyond. He's got triple cult following with Raiders, Michigan, and Green Bay. You know what I mean? Because he was great for great for all three. So that So anyway, I don't know. Possibly with him too. I never looked into it. I don't know why. I never looked into it as far as collectability. I just drank it because I'm fucking huge fan of the guy. So.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I have a buddy of mine who collects bourbon. I mean, he's got like these crazy expensive bottles of bourbon. So I should actually get him to come on one day. He knows a lot about that stuff. It's really cool. He's had some good flips.
Yeah, no,
that is
definitely.
cool.
You can do it. I think like Japanese whiskeys too. You can do really well in those as well. But I don't know that much about it. But this is kind of like a safer kind of like investment and a little more obtainable, I guess you'd say. Shout out to Nemesis Prime. He actually posted a picture of his PS4 Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and I just started playing this game, oddly enough, and I was like, man, this game's like super fun. It's got a good storyline. It's in between episode 3 and 4. There's comic book references in this as well. So like I think Second Sister's in the video game. I haven't got that far in it yet, but I just think it'd be kind of a cool graded game to get, because it's newer. There's other properties tied to it, and I mean, who knows? It could come to fruition on the big screen, but I just figured this is a really popular video game, and you could get it on sale for like $20. Grade it, see what happens.
I'm looking forward to this one. I might actually pick this one up and play it. So it looks interesting.
The PS4, PS5 thing is really interesting to me, because it's like still difficult to get a PS5 for a lot of. I mean, I was in a Walmart today that you still can't get one there. I mean, I know it was a little easier during the holidays this year. I think after 2 years of it being out. But something I've been thinking about is the PS4 versus the PS5 games, and which ones are going to be rarer in all this. Like, are they making less of the PS5 games because there's not as many of them, or are they making less of the PS4 games because they've now moved on to the new system? Something to think about a little bit with that. The other thing to think about with any games in general, I think, is that as we go further and further digital, these things are going to be a relic. A lot of these games. So something to look at too.
Oh yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, very, very cool. All right. Thank you, Ferd. That's going to be something we're going to be doing going forward. So very, very cool stuff. All right, let's get into some other interesting stuff Sean put together. You guys, we've been talking about Last of Us for a long time. Of course, comic-wise, video game-wise. Shout out to our boy Comic Man Andy, who is a huge fan of The Last of Us. I think he's doing a post-show review thing over on his channel. So make sure you guys check that out. So but there's some really cool stuff going on with Last of Us right now that we're going to get into. And Sean brought up a really interesting point about them that you don't see very often in anything else. And a lot of people are talking about this. So
yeah, well, okay. So first off, this is new and old to me. Okay, I'm not a gamer, so like I have to take people's words on it. If you're not talking vintage shit we played, I quit. It was the early 2000s. I think PS3 was maybe my last platform. I didn't use it as much, and that was the last thing I did. And so I try to pay attention because we're sort of in the same, we're obviously in the same realm here with comics crossovers and stuff like that. And so other people, like doing a show was a month ago or something, with Andy, talking about what the show meant to him and stuff like that. And we know when Andy's heavy, he's a fan on something like Last of Us or Saga or something, like he's all in, he's that kind of guy. So, listen to him talk about stuff with passion, and honestly, so this is, I think 2013 was when the comics came out. And this was probably DC New 52 and Marvel Now got me back into comics, also because I moved across the street from a comic book store, and I was always into comics when I was younger. But I only got back into them as reading them. I still have my childhood collection and stuff like that. I go pick up trades and stuff at different places, order them on Amazon. I never stopped really reading. I just stopped. I was not a Wednesday warrior until then, and I'm not anymore, only because I don't have proximity to great stores like I used to. So I know that. So 2013, this is one of the really good flips at the time that you could kind of find in the stores. And there's multiple printings to this thing. I didn't even realize until more recently about the variant that it has. That I screen capped just a little bit of info in there. That's why I put it from the Mike Comic Shop thing. So I know this thing meant some stuff to different people. You know what I mean? So yeah, we've gotten here the Naughty Dog video game variant. Doesn't seem, it's probably close, but doesn't seem to sell quite as much as a regular first print. And I don't know, people like this so much, and anybody feel free to jump in if you have better opinions about this, because only have I learned, like in the last 6 months or something, how much people actually felt for this. But this was one of the first things you could flip. But don't get me wrong, I'm talking, you find a beat up half copy in your that nobody put a bag and board in from Dark Horse that you still grab off the shelf, and then you go get $25 on eBay. That's the kind of flip I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like consistent, like $1,000 sales. I screen cap this, but I also have, if you have the GPA one on there, so that's GPA. And so most of those, I think those, maybe not the 11th, but I think they're all after the debut. And we haven't seen this. And there was one high sale last year of $1,250, but the other ones were both really close to $900 something range. And what's tripped me out a little bit is because maybe it's being a crossover thing with the video games and the TV show. The TV show's so great through 2 episodes. We're gonna get 9 episodes. It's supposed to be 10, but I guess they turned the first one into like an hour and a half instead. So anyway, so we get 9 episodes. We've got Mando and the chick from the little girl from Bear Island or whatever from Game of Thrones. So yeah, great stuff going on here. Really good through 2 episodes. So I think it's video game nostalgia for people. And I was trying to, Dino explained it better than me, but though they do have, like, you can look on YouTube and basically watch all the story arc of the video games. And something like that. Also, it's supposedly super spoilery, so I'm not going to do that, because I'd rather just take it as it comes, because it looks so good. But like, this what makes me happy is that we finally have a recent book that where after something airs, the books are going up, or at least maintaining value.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. We all do. We all thought we were going to get rich on reread, and that did not happen. It was about her Invincible Iron Man #1 regular first print 9.8. It was $250 to $300. So that's from an eBay description, but it's about the ash can, more the very top. There's a lot on there. It's at $750 with one bid. It's got the ash can 9.8 and a VGA 85 of the game. It's at $750 with only one bid, because it's the first bid or whatever. I'm selling more than I'm buying at this moment, but it seems like maybe that's a good deal, because there's only like 8 of these ash cans on there. And the ash can looks, I believe, just like the regular cover there, but it's just small, like ash can small. And that's 9 point. These are 9.6s. You know what I mean? And this is
the second print right here, or third print.
Oh, no, that's third print. Okay, yeah. So there's 3
second print. I thought the third print was yellow and the second print was red.
That sounds correct. I can't tell you whether you're correct about which is which, but I don't know. But that sounds correct. That might, yeah. So I don't know. I'm just excited because people saying speculation's dead. And when the sales are going up, in this economy on something, that means people really want to have it. And it was brought up on Monday, oh, is it the next Walking Dead? I don't think there's ever going to be a next Walking Dead. They're not going to have, it's just not. That was a perfect storm in life, in comics. It was the most popular show on, and it was on regular cable that started 10 years ago when we weren't streaming everything at the time. And, you know, being on AMC, it was still able to be darker, gory, you know, that stuff. I don't think we'll ever see another Walking Dead. Plus, there's like 4 issues here, but the 2, 3, and 4 are selling for money too. It's hundreds of dollars for 9/8 in those books, and like some of the number 4s are selling for like $90 raws. So I'm just excited. I'm just excited that to see comics doing well with the show and correlate with that. And as someone who enjoys comics, sells comics, loves comics, reads comics, I definitely want, hopefully this is a sign to come for things that actually are really good. And then I don't know, like I said, maybe because of the crossover deal, maybe it's a little extra, you know what I mean? Maybe it's, yeah. So this came out prior to the video game. I didn't realize that actually. 6,000. I don't think Walking Dead 1 was a lot more than that. I don't think there's more than 10,000.
Walking Dead was like 7,000, right?
Okay,
3,500 each. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So these things go, yeah. So
yeah, here's the regular, and here's all the variants for it. This is the second print with red. The third print's kind of like
those
orange.
prices, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Way off.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
Key Collector's worst. The worst thing about Key Collector is that his prices aren't updated. Yeah.
If you guys see those,
this one's cool
price,
too.
buy it at the high price. Yeah, that's the variant. That's the was it Salty Dog or whatever?
Yeah.
Or is that a restaurant? I don't know.
And then here's your ash can right here. So
is that? I'm not. Are you sure that's
from Naughty Dog? Yeah, mini. Right, it says mini
wrong.
Comic.
Then it's the mini version of the Naughty Dog. I said Salty Dog. That's a restaurant. Sorry,
it came with the game. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Look at that. Yeah.
So I think there's only 7 or 8 9/8 on that ash can. So if you see that, I don't have any idea who's selling that, but I only screen capped for this. Sorry, I didn't put a link. I only screen capped that what they were selling with the game rated and the ash can. If you have any belief in this stuff, I'm sure you can find it live on eBay. Any belief in that stuff. So that's the text description I gave for it. Sorry, I only did sold sales because
no, you're okay, brother.
Care about
yeah.
But anyway, hopefully we've got a winner, and if not, we got a good damn show to watch for 2 more months.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Let's take a look in live on eBay and see what we got going on here. Collectibles. Where is this shit? Let's do this. Quick live looking on some sales here recently. There's a third print sold for 73, a 9.6 of the first print. Best offer accepted under 500.
That's literally today.
Yeah,
that's today.
Yeah, $3.99 best offer for the first print raw.
$400 modern 9.6 is
insane,
crazy.
Let me tell you that. Yeah,
$180 for a first print raw.
The later issues are going for pretty good money too.
Look at this, 1 through 4, all 9/8, $2,000.
Crazy.
That's cool. A great buy, great sale.
Yeah,
I love stuff like that. Make it easy. There's the variant, right, for 52. Damn. Wow, man.
Wow. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I love it. I love seeing modern books stay hot and not just people dumping trying to dump when the show starts, which I'm sure people are doing, but those are dump prices. Those are good prices.
Let's just be honest. I don't want to talk about this. I'm gonna just tell you, Sean, I don't want to talk about this because I'm mad that I missed out on this goddamn Last of Us comic. It haunted me when they announced the show, bro. I was so pissed because I played the game. I was there. Yeah. I played the game. I was all the way in, and then when the show came out, and the show is actually great. I like the show because I'm into that dystopia shit.
Yeah, me too. For sure.
Like we were talking offline.
for
yeah,
sure.
bro. Like it is, bro. I kick myself in the ass every time I look at this Last of Us comics, bro. Like I literally, because I was telling everybody about the game. I was like, bro, you got to play the game. The game is insane, and I just missed the boat. I hate it.
And there's the YouTube videos that I half watched, not the ones with that they'll have the side by side. So I
Mhm.
guess the cinematography is really similar to the game. They're trying to stay really true,
Yes.
which probably means
It's really good.
To the people buying, that probably means even more. I would
Yeah.
imagine, because there's definitely some video game people buying the shit.
Great.
Yeah, it's very
It's
interesting. We're
quality.
going to keep an eye on it. I'm sure we're going to be talking about it quite often. I do want to shout out Comic Man Andy real quick. For those of you guys that don't know, go check out his YouTube channel. You can find it on our YouTube page. If you scroll down to on Beyond Wednesdays, you'll see all the friends of the channel, and Comic Man Andy's YouTube page is there. Some big news for Comic Man Andy. Bryan Wood over at Simple Man's Comics, one of our OGs in our community, one of the guys who's been doing it the best for the longest, has kind of lost the love for creating content and has decided to not to shut his YouTube channel down, but he's not going to be creating content until he gets the spark back again. So Comic News Weekly, which we do every Tuesday over there, me, Andy, Bryan, and Wood, is now going to be moving over to Comic Man Andy's channel. So for all you fans of Comic News Weekly, this upcoming week will be the last show on Wood's channel. I think hopefully he's going to try and reach out to some people, maybe to come on, people who have been on the show before and that type of stuff. So if you're one of those people, make sure to keep your comms open and sub up to Comic Man Andy. So a lot of cool stuff over there. Very, very cool stuff. All right, let's get into our next segment before the market report tonight. And this is kind of like a little market report in its own. There was some big sales going on at Heritage last week?
Last weekend.
Is that what? Yeah,
I think
last
it was
weekend. So
started Friday and Saturday, I believe. It was a signature auction, signature video game auction at Heritage.
And there was some killer sales. And here's the cool thing about it. CGC graded video games are starting to be sent out. Shout out to Trey, who sent some in, recently got his back. Man, they look so good. They are the best looking cases on the market. They're beautiful. And you gotta give a round of applause to CGC for pulling that off and how fast they put it all together. So
Which
yeah,
is why
man,
Trey
good
is
stuff.
in here. Which is why Trey isn't here tonight, because those CGC graded games that came back in were so high that he has cashed
retired.
in. He is retired and moved over by Lake Minnetonka. You know what I'm saying? That's for the people that watch Purple Rain. That's where Trey has moved over to with old boot syndrome and ptomaine poison. His games came back, I think, almost 9-8 or something. Didn't it almost? The games came back like
9-6.
almost
9-6,
like 9-6 or something. Bro, that man just literally came into like some crazy money, man, with those. So congratulations to Trey. That's I can't.
What were they?
even believe it.
Fortnite? He got 2 Fortnites, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were Fortnite, and I think Vinny was the one that put him on. Like told him to go get him, right? Or something like that.
Yep.
Was they in Houston? Did he come to Houston for this?
I think he found him on Facebook Marketplace or something like that.
No.
Yeah. He did drive though. He said he had to drive somewhere to go get him. Yeah.
He drove somewhere to get him, and they both came. I mean, what a play. What a play. I mean, you drive somewhere, spend some money, and then they come back and literally he's in the money. He's in the money. He ain't got to do shit.
No.
He's in the money.
No. Yeah,
That's
you're
right.
right. All right. Let's get into it. This is beautiful. Look how good that looks. That looks so damn
clean.
good. A 9.4 Zelda sold for $120,000.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing is, CGC is actually putting this out there. They're like, hey, listen, we're up there. We're on par with WADA, and in some cases, we're beating out WADA. So don't, it's very interesting, being in this community, that's kind of like a lot of comic book guys, and in also being in that video game community a lot, and being in those chat rooms and having conversations. It's like, you know, the video game guys are all about WADA. They were hating on the CGC case. The comic guys are like, man, this is the best case I've seen. These WADA cases are garbage. So, you know, I think there has been some hesitancy from the video game people to really embrace CGC. But I'm telling them, I'm like, listen, there's a lot of comic guys that are interested in video games and who love these cases. I was like, do not count CGC out. I was like, they're probably going to dominate the market pretty soon. And
Absolutely.
This is starting to show it. I mean, 120,000 for this game, 9.4. Of course, this game was hitting some crazy highs during the pandemic, but this is really a great price for a mid-production.
Let me say this as you're moving to the next slide, Bryan. Vinny has been preaching to us about these games before these games even became a thing. When we first started talking about doing On the Radar, the first thing that Vinny was telling me and Trey was that, hey, bro, y'all really need to jump off into these games. And at that time, Super Mario, bro, you could have bought that on eBay at that time for maybe $2,000. That's $2,000, $3,000. It had to have been somewhere around there. It was right before the explosion. Vinny was on it. Vinny was on it right before the explosion. Like,
yeah, I was in a chat with these guys, with Marcus and Trey. We've been talking for a long time before the podcast started, so I was, you know, feeding them some intel here and there about a lot of this stuff. So it's cool. It's cool to see it happening. Something that I have been preaching is the precursors to a lot of these games in Japan. Still a lot of opportunity there, and a lot of like just early versions of games. Right now, I think we're still in a nostalgia phase, but I think there's a lot of opportunity to go historical that people have still not gotten into, and I think that has to do a lot with the video game markets being very new, and graded video game market being very new.
I just realized how bad this is going to screw up my CGC comic eBay search.
Yeah, probably.
Fuck, man. But like a year from now, it's gonna be half video games. I'll be like, God damn it! And don't get me wrong, not that I'm not trying to start to play in this market as well, but just like I do with comics, if I'm gonna start playing on it, I'm gonna start trying to buy stuff that I can grade.
And let me say this:
almost all my slabs I pressed and graded. You know what I mean?
Let me say this: while you're out loading up these games, Bryan, you go to the next slide, because I know we trying to make use of time. But even with the games out right now, if you don't have a Elden Ring, if you don't have some of this new shit that's out here, and you're off grading that and putting it over to the side, like, what are you doing? Like, because see, that's a $60 investment compared to, trying to find a Sonic the Hedgehog in the wild, and hopefully, you can find one that's decent, whatever the case may be. Look at what's moving right now. What games are out that came out last year? What game came out, 2 years ago that you could say, okay, well, it's cheaper now. You probably can still find it in a Walmart hiding somewhere that you can send off, and it may be a few $100s now, but look at this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's here.
Yeah, and we talked about last week, we were talking about variants for Sonic the Hedgehog. If you notice here, this is one of the South San Francisco address versions that I was pointing out last week. 9.6 went for $50,400. I still am not mad at the CIB versions of this. Just take a look at, try to identify what the early versions are. Somebody else, so that there is still some debate about whether the South San Francisco address with the made in Japan versus the printed in Japan came first. There are a lot of people thinking printed in Japan came first. So, I think either one, again, is still a good buy.
Yeah. Mrs. Horsecock Express says that documentary that made WADA look awful, CGC sliding in at the right time. Amen. If you guys haven't seen the YouTube documentary that, what was his name? Spacing. Yeah, Carl Jobst made on the WADA stuff. He updated it recently, and there was some major fuckery going on there that a lot of people did not want to talk about. So Make sure you guys go check it out. And I agree, CGC couldn't have been better timing on this one. So next Sonic one, we got another one here. This is the Redwood City one.
This is the Redwood City one. Yep. This is the slightly later print. And this went for 11,400. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's cool to see these prices on these games. I mean, I would love to have a Sonic the Hedgehog. Still a little pricey, but definitely one of my grails.
When I was a kid, this was such a big game for me. Bionic Commando. I love this
Bionic Commando.
I love that
Yeah.
game. Yeah, this was a Capcom game. Yeah, the original art for this was on sale during the signature. It went for 45,600. There are a bunch of video game collectors, just like the comic guys, who have pretty much scooped up all the OA for these video games. There were, I think there were like a few people. I think it was 2 guys who scooped up a lot of it, and they're slowly letting go of stuff. But man, they were smart. Yeah, they did it like probably 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
John Z was talking about this 4 years ago, man, picking up some of this stuff. Shout out to Namesh, who dropped a $25 super chat. Said, poker game didn't work out too well. Might as well put what's left to good use. Amen. We appreciate you, brother. All right. Next on the list, we've got some Twisted Metal.
Yeah, Twisted Metal. This is the ridged long box version. If you guys remember, there's a few different long boxes that came out early on with the PlayStation stuff. But yeah, so this version sold for almost 40,000. So I mean, wow, awesome to see.
Yeah,
and some of these games, like, you know, I went by a game store not too long ago, like Silent Hill, for example, just like a CIB copy of Silent Hill is consistently selling for like $300. Like, there's a lot of good money in some of these games, CIB or sealed.
Vinny, what you think my Star Fox is going to go for, CIB?
I don't know. Honestly, I have to look it up. I'm not like super versed on the SNES prices, but I'll take a look. I'll take a look for you. I will tell you though, Marcus, that Bulletproof game, people are literally saying that's their grail. That's
that's super rare. You need to get on that quickly.
I sent it off already. I sent it off already. Yeah, we're waiting. Yeah, I sent that off, and I'm gonna send off some other stuff. You know, tonight. I'm gonna start packing it tonight and ordering. I'm gonna let you know how I come out. I'm excited. Trey really inspired me with the Fortnite shit. I was like, yeah, let me stop playing and just send some of this shit off. I have so many games and systems that I need to send off. I'm gonna send off the Super Nintendo, all of that. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Super Mario Brothers last production still going for $36,000. So
wow,
crazy.
Wow. You can see how bad those cases look now that the CGC ones are out. Ugh.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, bro, can y'all just fathom for a second? That is a game that we all played. That is a game that we all had a Nintendo blowing the cartridge, putting it right in the tip of the Nintendo system.
Clinking it down because, if you put it in too far, it's not going to go, and the Nintendo goes out and it's blinking. And, bro, this game is so monumental. And just to see that a sealed version of this selling for $36,000 blows my mind, and it's got me kicking myself in the ass. Yeah. This one's a big one right here.
This was an interesting sale because it's for, really like a modern game. PS2, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's a WATA graded 10. But yeah, $22,800 for this. I mean, I'm not sure how you get a WATA 10. I guess it just no scratches on the plastic at all, no blemishes whatsoever. But man, there are some serious premiums getting paid for these 10s on these modern games. I forgot there was another game recently that was just like this. I think it was one of the Pokemon games, but it went for some major price in a 10. So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Can we send the systems, like the little Nintendo Switches and all that? We can send all that off.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
you can send those to VGA. Yeah, Sega Saturn, $5,520.
I can't even fathom this.
I love that
system. Fathom this. That system was so amazing to me.
And it's graded AFA 85 or 85.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So VGA again, to remind everybody, that's the only company that grades consoles right now. I don't know
And
if
here's
the other guys will move into it, but yep. So this is a qualified Nintendo action set, meaning it's been open before, but all the contents are new. It's still hitting $5,280. So this is
I hated the orange gun.
Yeah.
I hated that. I wish I'd have kept my regular one.
I know. Did anybody have like the power pad and all that stuff? Did you guys
Yeah.
have that stuff?
I did.
Broke like
Track
two
and
of them, man.
field.
Yeah.
Jumping on that
I
thing.
did.
I had a
Yeah.
power pad.
I hit it with my
You just-
hands.
Yeah, you
Oh,
sit
yeah.
down and just go like this. Fucking Donkey
Yeah.
Kong that bitch, dude.
Yeah.
My buddy used to take a little battery
Jump.
and just rub it across the pad, and it used to make the guys fly. It was crazy.
You know what game I really want, y'all, and if anybody out there in the Beyond Wednesdays community world want to help me out, I'm looking for Kung Fu for the NES.
That's a black label.
hey,
That's a
hey,
black label game, Marcus. So that's like one of those kind of tough to get games.
Kung
Yeah.
Fu.
Yep.
And there was the famous kung fu sounds, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just this Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
black box. Sorry, not black label. Yeah,
So you don't think I can find it?
it's tough, bro. It's tough. I'm sick about this. These Madden. These are kind of like grails for me. These John Madden football games for the PC. Again, historical. I'm a big proponent of all this stuff. I just think they're so undervalued. But Probstein bought one of these over the over the pandemic for $25,000. So seeing this, look at this. This is a which version is this? Is the C64. So this is not the first print.
Commodore 64.
Commodore 64. I had one.
Yeah, I think
Jesus.
the IBM or the Apple one was the first
Here's
print.
the Apple.
Yeah.
Sick.
I think IBM may have preceded that. I just don't remember, but I think that's why there's like a big price difference. But C64, Commodore 64, I would not be mad at either. But yeah, 1800. I actually wish I bought that.
I love how he's got his Super Bowl ring on.
Yeah.
I love
John
it.
Madden was awesome.
First Madden game. Even though CIB, I think they're a great investment. Just the PC game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. That is excellent stuff, you guys. Keep an eye on Heritage for all the great auctions they do over there. We'll continue to bring you the information as we get it, and keeping an eye on all the video game stuff. Vinny does such a great job with that, and I think that is going to be a big part of 2023. Especially with CGC now being in the game and everything. That's such a key for all that. It's unreal. So, all right. All right, you guys, let's get into the market report for January 25th, 2023, and then we will call it a night. We got some interesting stuff on the market report tonight. I want to shout out all 85 live hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys. At the end of the show, I'm going to run down all the new members this week. If you guys don't know, check out the join button below. Appreciate all you guys that have already joined up. Made it really, really awesome seeing all that stuff. So, all right, we're going to start off with our boy Ferd, who's got some really cool market report spotlight stuff this week that is very interesting. Starting off with Parappa the Rapper. I remember this back in the day. This was a big deal.
Yeah, so just kind of doing something a little different this time. Parappa the Rapper, man, like this is, if you didn't have rhythm on the dance floor, you could probably get rhythm in this for sure. But yeah, just some interesting sales here. The video game, of course, it still goes for pretty good money. I think people still like playing this game if you can play it. And then just some random, just kind of Parappa the Rapper gear. I thought this was kind of cool. The original soundtrack. I mean, the soundtracks to these dance games were like off the chain, man. I could listen to that. I can listen to that CD all day. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I agree that it's awesome. I love seeing all three different mediums, right? You've got the video game stuff, the soundtrack, and the gear. And people love that type of stuff if they're big fans of this stuff. So, all right, next we have got a spotlight on Game of Thrones stuff.
Yeah, so just kind of I guess Game of Thrones has been on my mind lately. But yeah, so kind of with the movies, I think it'd be really cool to own this. I know the last season was horrible, but I think that's pretty like spot on how much it goes for. And then Emilia Clarke, I mean, obviously Queen of Dragons, like $9,000 for her autograph card. I don't know the grade on that though. I think it's just certified. But
Yeah,
it's from
It's
from the game. Yeah, she was obviously the most popular one. I think that has some staying power.
They're all the same.
Can't trust any of those girls. all the same hoes.
Man. Make everything's fun.
I love the George R. R. Martin one too.
Yeah, I dug that one too, man. Because like, I mean, you know, the when it comes to mediums or whatever, it's the actors and the people that play the characters. But I would buy this one. George R. R. Martin's a great writer. He's, you know, maybe like having Steven Spielberg, something like that, you know, with regards to our medium. So yeah, that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, then I love the fact throws me off at $9,000. To be honest, she's like alive and in her, I don't know.
I think the card
30 years old or something. I mean,
yeah, but the card aspect really adds to it, right? Like if you just had a George R. R. Martin autograph on an index card, it wouldn't sell for as much as being a limited card. They're numbered, you know. I think that really adds to it, and that's what I love about, you know, you add the card collecting aspect to it that adds value. So I love stuff like that. Be on the lookout for the George R. R. Martin Fantastic Four. Good luck on that, though. Good luck. All right. Next, we have a very interesting spotlight on some prospects that we're going to be talking a lot about prospecting cards coming up because spring training is coming, you guys. So some Bowman firsts on the prospect list.
Yeah. So shout out to Aaron Yeezy. We kind of go back and forth on baseball, and Richie's probably one of my favorite people to watch what he does at openings and stuff. And McClay, you had that killer Julio opening, man. Like, so jealous, you know. But for me, I always like, if I like a prospect, I don't necessarily want their first, like for baseball. I want their first like card, not so much like the first year they actually get called up. I think it's just more interesting to have that. So these four guys I highlighted because they were basically the top four rookies in baseball. And personally, for me, kind of got me back into watching baseball, not just on a local level, but like, you know, Sunday night baseball, Friday night, Saturday. I was watched a lot of baseball this year, and it was because of these four guys. And these are basically your top four. You could put Torkelson in there too. And I mean, Wander Franco is technically a rookie this year, but I felt these four guys just, I mean, O'Neal Cruz, 6'5" shortstop, throws 120 miles per hour to first base. Are you kidding me? And Julio, Michael Harris is badass, and Bobby Witt's just got the name, he's got the flair, he plays for the Royals. These guys got me excited about baseball again. So
yeah, the O'Neal Cruz is a really cool one. Shout out to Chad Cave, who is a big O'Neal Cruz fan, and he would ask me all the time about O'Neal Cruz and all that stuff. Did you pull an O'Neal Cruz also, Marcus?
I did.
Marcus opened one box of Sapphire, and we'll get to this here in a minute, and pulled every major rookie out of the set. But O'Neal Cruz was drafted in 2016 by the Dodgers. And, of course, a lot of first Bowmans, you will find that they trade them because prospects get traded all the time. For example, Tatis was drafted by the White Sox. Eloy Jimenez was drafted by the Cubs. It just goes on and on. Bobby Witt, I love the Bobby Witt stuff because he, you know, his dad was a famous pitcher, baseball player, and he was drafted out of high school and came up like the following year, right? And as you can see, I spec hard on Bobby Witt. These are all Bobby Witt first Bowmans, and they're camos, mojos, autos. But if you guys don't know, and this is something I want to key on, the Sapphire card to me is the most beautiful card that gets put out. And this is the Bobby Witt First Bowman Sapphire. I picked up 4 of these for $50 a piece when they came out. I imagine these are a couple $100 a piece now. And our boy Marcus decided to open up a set of a box of the Sapphire that just came out. Let's go ahead and run down what you pulled out of your Sapphire box. One box, you guys. Check this out.
Okay. Julio Rodriguez.
MLB debut.
MLB debut.
Green numbered to how many?
75.
75. Beautiful. Bobby Witt Jr. MLB debut. So for those of you guys that don't know Topps, what Topps does in their update product is they'll do the rookie, the base rookie, and then they'll add an ML debut card, which is the day they came up. So you want the base rookie, but the ML debuts are nice.
Yeah.
This is like having that person at your office who doesn't watch sports make their March Madness bracket and then win the whole thing.
Beautiful those are.
Marcus
So
is the
gorgeous.
secretary.
Yeah.
I just picked
O'Neal
you one.
Cruz,
Yeah. This guy.
Spencer Torkelson. This guy was ASU Sun Devil, broke the college record for home runs in a season.
So that one, and
That's the MLB debut, and here's his base. That's so beautiful, so gorgeous.
Oh man,
He pulled all of them, you guys. I think the only rookies he didn't pull were Wander and CJ Abrams.
Oh, CJ, I forgot about him.
Yeah, I don't have those.
So you got a regular Bobby too, right? A regular Bobby.
I have a regular Bobby. It's in here. I think I put it up when y'all said it. When y'all told me to sleeve, I started sleeving. Yeah. So I have a regular Bobby with too as well.
Yeah.
Not Harvard Sports Card says, put that in the case. Oh no, my God, always sleeve.
At the same, what did I say? I told Marcus, I go, he better sleeve those things damn quick. So, anyways, if to me, you guys, if you were gonna key in on any, I would suggest instead of buying wax, this is to everybody out there, don't buy a box of wax. Go buy a Sapphire rookie card of these guys. You'll save money unless you got hot hands like Marcus. You're probably not going to be that lucky to pull all those good guys out of one box. And those boxes are $180 to $250 a piece. You get 6 packs per box, 4 cards per pack. So you're not getting a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
And then
my Christmas tree is still up. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm that guy. I ain't taking it down till June. Possibly Juneteenth.
The 2020 Michael Harris is another great card. Michael Harris is one of the most slept on prospects in baseball cards. Absolutely gorgeous. So, and then that Julio, that Bowman Chrome Julio, that is beautiful. I pulled one of those. I was lucky enough to pull one a refractor base auto out of a box back in 2019, and I'm going to be sending that in along with my gold auto. So beautiful stuff. Gorgeous. All right, next. This is very interesting, you guys. Back to the Future spotlight. And I put one in here because this blew me away. If you guys remember, there was a Back to the Future VHS, graded VHS that sold for some ridiculous amount, right, Vinny? Like, what did it sell for back not too long ago?
I don't remember. It was a lot. It was
40,000 or something crazy.
Yeah.
Well, check this out, you guys. I don't know if VHS sales have dropped ridiculously, but this is a McDonald's promo version of Back to the Future, and it's great. Great.
This has always been cheap. This has always been
okay.
Cheap. I don't know if this is one that just has had a lot more out there, but this is one of my all-time favorite movies. I think this and Karate Kid are my top favorite 80s movies, of all time. And I've looked into this, but these have always been like about this price, like not too expensive. So I don't know what the print run of them was, but there's a lot out there.
Yeah. And then I can't, that almanac, we've been talking about the almanac for a long time, but they've got the shoes there too.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, for 10 grand, Jesus. And then the video game CIB, $122. That feels like a nice buy. That feels like a cheap buy. So
yeah.
And then the pops, man, certain pops go for a ridiculous amount of money. I have a pop coming up in the market report. Be on the lookout for those. $2,000 for that convention. Is it a Chase convention or something? I mean, pop fans, let us know if you know anything about that.
Yeah, I was at some. Somebody told me about this. About that. That's how I found it. But yeah, it was just like at a convention earlier pop doll that they did. Very limited. So yeah.
All right, let's continue on. We've got there was a bunch of one seller that must collect double and triple covers, and he put a bunch available for sale this week. He sold all 3 of these, as you can see, all triple, 1 quadruple cover. So pretty damn interesting. This is a niche collecting field. Yeah, crazy, especially that Thor. That's crazy.
Dude, about or your fucking T-Cats.
Yeah. I Sean pressed my Thundercats double cover, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
I got the Motu Masters Universe #1 star double cover, both 9.8.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was
I love
250 like 6 years ago.
Wow. I love this Superman 78 signed by Gene Hackman. It's an 8.0. It sold for $685. If you guys don't know, Gene Hackman has basically backed off from any public appearances. He's become an author. He really doesn't sign much to begin with, if I remember correctly. So look how nice that looks with the white paint pen. Oh, that's just a really beautiful example of a signed comic. Like if you're going to get something signed, that's a perfect example of a rare person and how to have it signed. So
that's
I love that.
Cool. I agree.
Yeah,
I love it.
7.0 Avengers 1 sold for $10,300.
That seems like super cheap.
That seems like a good investment, in my opinion. Put it that way.
Yeah. And then the Department of Truth proof of concept variant 9.8, which has the black crossed out eyes on JFK, sold for $225. I like that. I think if I was going to buy any Department of Truth, that would probably be the one I'd look for. I like that. Next we have the 9.9 Spotlight M&M Spotlight variant for Amazing Spider-Man, sold for $3,300. There is a 10. I think 2 9.9s and a 10 came out recently. So
4 copies at CGC. Fingers crossed.
Yep. Walking Dead 1 9.8, 3,000. And then
is this book ever going to go back up? The Walking Dead #1 is been stagnant at that price for the last 6 years.
I don't know. It
was definitely under 2.
Yeah.
I got one for 16 and I ended up selling it for probably $19.50, and that was probably a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it's been down low.
So actually, I think that's decent for this market, or average. You're right. I'm not saying that, but yeah, I'm glad it's there because I love that book.
Yeah, I do too.
Cerberus #1 at 6.5, such a rare book, heavily counterfeited. A 6.5 sold for $3,300.
Don't tell Scott Reagan, dude. He couldn't dump a 7.5 off for $600 in Indiana.
Oh my god. Oh
yeah, I should have bought it. But it's look at that, how big that slab is, man. I don't want to carry it around.
I love it.
I want to carry it around.
I love the Ant homage to McFarlane just because it's one of the very first ones back in the day, and you can get a 9.8 for $86. Come on.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
man.
Cool. Yeah,
I like that.
Black Magic #44 is such a crazy cover. You got Hitler on it and aliens and UFOs for $89 for a 5.0. I get it's a purple label, but
who cares?
For $89, well, that's a great buy in my opinion. And then the Black Panther #1 sketch cover, iconic, one of the most iconic variants of all time, $2,400 for a 9.8.
That's
way down,
what, like $8,000 off the high, or something like that.
Way down,
something like that, dude.
It was like a $9,000 high. Yep, yeah.
It's screw all these new people, man. Keep buying the good old shit.
Yep, yeah.
Come on, man.
Next.
Variants
the Venom Deadpool What If Scotty Young, another iconic Scotty Young variant, a 9.8 for $356. That was easy $500 for the longest time.
Yeah.
So
there's a newsstand to that also.
Wow. The Wolverine 145 Nabisco Sienkiewicz variant, another super rare book, an 8.5 for $760. And I absolutely love the Fright #3 Freddy Krueger cover. It's just such a just beautiful, creepy cover with Freddy reading a comic and how great the art is. And it's a Fright comic and raw $205. So great book. How about, we've been talking about TV guides, old school TV guides, and back in the day, TV guides were regional, so they're variants basically. And this is from 1960s. This is the Munsters one, sold for $279, and it looks like it's in gorgeous condition. I love that. And then two beautiful Jackie Robinson comics from the 50s. I love the one that says Rookie on Trial, because if you've seen the movie, which these are based on, he went through such hell coming up, and both of these sold for around $280 each. So
Seems
very,
cheap.
very cool. Yeah, seems cheap. Next, Strange Academy #1, the Scotty Young variant, raw, $112. Love that. Signed. Great book. Image #1, Image Spawn #1, black and white variant, a raw, went for $365. Tough book. And then I love this, the Stan Lee Secrets Behind Comics from 1947. You guys, it's a book, it's a novel, and Stan Lee wrote it, $127. So, and it looks like it's in good condition. The dust cover is on and everything. I think that's a great thing to be on the lookout for. So a lot of people don't even know that that's out there. Next, G.I. Joe #155, the final issue, raw, sold for $202. And art, this is the art book of Over the Garden Wall, sold for $410.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the Marvel Spider-Man #1 Pacelli 1 in 100 variant, raw, sold for $720 Canadian. Love that book. Love that cover. Next, this is kind of crazy. Original vintage Robert Crumb Devil Girl chocolate bar box.
It says it's sealed. It's still, the chocolate bar is still in there.
Yeah, sealed. Robert Crumb did chocolate bars. Totally Robert Crumb art. Devil Girl. Like, how crazy is that for $150?
$150, I'm in all day.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I might
open them.
Sell them one by one, $50. Keep
Yep.
yourself a couple and keep the box. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Definitely money to be made there.
3 great Marilyn Monroe collectibles. The New Orleans Roosevelt Review from '54, great cover, sold for $1,136. Look at this 1968 Marilyn Monroe graphic novel. It's Mexican, I believe. It's got a nip slip on it, Portuguese. It's got a nip slip on it, sold for $79. That seems super low. So shout out to International Comics and Josh and Rob Fordham. And then finally, 1946 Marilyn Monroe Family Circle magazine, way before she was the Marilyn. This is back when she was Norma Jean, $556. So super cool. Then we've got the iconic National Geographic magazine from June 1985, one of the most recognized photos in history. This sold for $150. I love the documentary where they went and found the girl now, and she's older, obviously, and they went and found her, and they had to look for her and all this stuff. And there's a good documentary on that. Look at those eyes. Holy cow. 1989 Labatt's Blue Zone Girl poster promo. The very first Pamela Anderson modeling thing. Look how young she is there. $450.
Dude, for Labatt's.
She looks so young.
She's
Wow.
one of the greatest Canadians ever. Fucking prove me wrong.
Dude, that is amazing. That is so cool, dude. Like, that is like one of those things where, you know, be on the lookout for. That's the type of stuff that I really dig. And I think there's a lot of people out there are going to get into that cool type of stuff. So, all right. Next, Keith Haring. For those of you guys who don't know Keith Haring is an iconic modern art, street art type artist that was big in the 80s in New York, and did a lot for the knowledge on AIDS. I think he died of AIDS, right? HIV, AIDS.
Yep.
And this is a lot of his stuff you'll see for sale on eBay. And this is his nuclear disarmament lithograph. And it sold for $522. And for those of you guys that don't know who Keith Haring is, this is who Keith Haring is. This is pretty cool. This is him going around New York City subways and drawing on stuff. And his art style is one of the most famous art styles ever. That weird blocking that he does, he's known for. But can you imagine, walking around and seeing Keith Haring doing this, in the subway? So this is pretty cool. NYC subway art in the early 1980s.
I'm surprised
Keith Haring style.
Surprised that lithograph went for so little, actually, because he's like, right there with Basquiat and
yes,
those other guys. Yeah. He's pretty freaking iconic.
Well, speaking of Basquiat, I'm glad you brought that up because that's where I'm going next. Record highest sold painting at an auction, you guys. A Basquiat sold for what? 12 million, I think he did, something like that.
No, I think it's just didn't it say 110 million?
110 million. Sorry,
it's a crazy number. I remember it.
Here we go. Let's see here. $110 million, you guys. 110 million, guys. Here we go. I'll play this for everybody.
The highest sold painting at auction is $110 million. Episode 6, Basquiat. He passed away at the age of 27. He did not have a good relationship with the art world and the media. Many critics would make negative comments about his work, even referring to it as primal on TV, often receiving comments with racist undertones.
So, like Vinny said, probably him, Andy Warhol, and Keith Haring, the three most famous NYC artists of that generation. So, very, very cool stuff. All right, next we have got some, old school hip hop flyers. You got 1994 BDP KRS-One show flyer from the Bronx, sold for $327. 1991 Ice Cube solo show, including Father MC in NYC, sold for $356. African Bambaataa there too. And then 1994 Biz Markie and Funkmaster Flex NYC show, sold for $168. And then 1992 Gangstar, Kid Capri, Run DMC, Brand Nubians, DOS Effect, Heavy D, sold for $182.
Marcus, we gotta do some work. We gotta find this shit. We working in the music industry.
Sitting in a
back
room. Yeah,
dude, can you find them and NFT them yourself?
There's got to be boxes of them in a back room office somewhere, just collecting dust.
You know what's so wild? I put
so
in
cool.
a sleeve. I have and this is from something I went to early on. This is when Kendrick, right after Kendrick did Section 80. So I have a flyer signed by Cy the Prince and Kendrick Lamar before he got his deal with Dre.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
Man, to be honest with you, some of this stuff, at least in the South, I know I can get my hands on because, some of the guys that was doing the artwork, they have like all the flats still at their house. So like old 8-Ball MJG, old Tila, old Rap-A-Lot, old Ghetto Boys. All that shit is just sitting in a warehouse somewhere where nobody is whatever. And I think what would be really cool is like, for instance, I was part of a record that happened in the South that turned out to be pretty big. It was Paul Walker Millionaire, Get Your Mind Correct. So I know that I was talking to the guy that owns that. And so what we were talking about doing is that he's talking about releasing like vinyl and, all the flats. And there's a whole DVD that we never put out that I'm trying to figure out how do we, work that to where we could do something blockchain related, or we could do something where, we can release it a certain type of way where it can live on and actually do what it needs to do, because all of that history is actually, what it's all about. Look at these things that are selling for like $100. A flyer that somebody went to Kinko's, bro. Kinko's.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And got it done for $20.
To be all right, I'm not a piece of shit, so I wouldn't. But like, especially 90s era, like, I have so much punk stuff that I saved that, like, even when I, like, you decorate your fucking high school bedroom with it, and then not just that, but more of that, because that's what was able and was free. You know what I mean? If it was like a concert, man, I probably still got some Ticketmaster shit. But like, it was like a concert, you read, it wasn't even internet really, but like magazines or, word of mouth, or on the radio, you hear about a concert. But like, especially genre punk, ska, stuff like that, that's all DIY. So it's all word of mouth. Or you go to, the little theater, showcase theater in Corona or some shit like that. And then you pick up all the flyers when you leave. So I got a bunch of that. And like, I'm not a turd, but they were just copied back then. Like, people like fake wine and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, dude, these are pieces of paper.
Yeah, but I think you can tell though, like the different colors, the different you can tell if there's a good chance it's going to be copied. None of these I think are. You can, the different types of coloring.
I 100% believe what you're saying. I'm saying this is going to become a thing. If it's not all, if it's not
already is. It already is.
It's not already, because
in the early,
people are just too smart. We figured out how to fix comic books, right? Nobody's pressing comic books 20 years ago, or very few people anyway. When CGC came along, we just go, it's very fine, or it's near mint, and that's it. Right?
Yeah.
Then you pay money for it. We fix stuff without doing shit. You can recreate a piece of paper. I don't give anybody ideas. I don't think that's how that goes, but
2 of the free sample copy Nintendo Powers you guys sold this last week, and we all missed out on them. So this last couple weeks, $143 and $192, the super rare ones. And then I love the final issue with an homage to the first issue. This is a 9 graded. It looks so good in those cases. So good. $405. So here's 2 great signed CDs, one by Left Eye, and obviously passed away, sold for $398, and then a Jay-Z Blueprint Black Album. What is this?
Blueprint.
He's got like 5 different things on there.
Yeah, actually, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
No, so that's
dude, what the hell is that, dude? That's like 5 different album names.
No. That particular record, what that is like when you stick it in the sleeve, it's like a 3D joint. So it's shifting between covers. Like it's like a what they call a lithograph, or
so it shows all the different colors.
Yeah, so lenticular. It's lenticular.
Then which album is it?
Yeah.
No, it's the Blueprint album, but the cover is just lenticular. That's
so like a second printing of it or something.
I don't remember.
I mean, I definitely bought the Blueprint.
Yeah,
for sure, because I still had CDs back then.
I think this is more Black Album. I think that's Black Album.
They're about to get attacked, I think, dude.
Yeah, because I think they're about to.
Yeah. It's all good.
The cat. Oh yeah, the cat.
I'm about to have a murder on fucking live.
He's
That's
sneaky.
funny, dude. That's really funny. You know what it reminds me of? As a matter of fact, it reminds me of this. Cats. Yeah, you can't trust cats, man.
The PlayStation, the dude opening the PlayStation on Christmas and he gets attacked by his cat. Is that what you're talking about?
That was a crazy one, but no, this right here.
The Rogan.
The owner of the photo said, "I suddenly woke up last night and found my cat sitting like this, looking at me."
Is that the Thriller video, dude? No, there's no way, dude.
That looks like out of the Thriller video, right?
That's Michael Jackson, dude.
That's scary as shit. That's some furry shit. So
no, the Rogan stand-up when he said, he said dogs and cats. He said if your cat was bigger, one day he'd just rip your head off.
Yeah.
Cat was your size, you couldn't just live. The dog was your size, you just have to wrestle with him sometimes.
Lions, bro.
The cat was your size, because one day you just you die.
This one seller has been selling these DC Universe packs like crazy. And these are all from one seller over the last couple months. As you can see, tons of them. He's actually the one that sold the really famous one. So look at this, though. We missed out, though, you guys. That $66 for that one. $129 for the one there. He sold the two Harley Quinn, first appearance of Harley Quinn ones, but for $73 and $46, you could have got unopened DC Universe 20 packs. So
are people keeping those open? Or are they? I mean, unopened?
No, they're keeping. Oh yeah. That's the reason. Yeah. Next,
they were at Costco.
Yeah, no, these were not at Costco. They were at Toys R Us, Lionel Play World. They were at toy stores and stuff like that.
Got it. Okay.
And the true DCU collectors know what the hell's in those things. You know which ones are the Batman Adventures 12.
Batman Adventures 12 is on the right. The one on the right.
Yeah. That's what I'm. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Check this out. You guys ever seen these? 24 vintage mint on card WWF squirt head figures. They're squirt guns that are the shape of heads. Sold for $585.
24 of them. Wow.
Mm-hmm. And then $1,740 for WWF Warlord Black figure.
I knew what that is.
I've never heard of Warlord Black.
Powers of Pain.
Okay, Powers of Pain. Okay.
The tag team.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Reference.
Yeah. Check out that Masters replica Star Wars lightsaber signed, signature edition, signed by James Earl Jones. Now, I love these, you guys. I never got any of the life-size ones, the replicas from Master Replicas. I got the mini ones. They put out a ton of them, like 15 or 20 of them, all the different lightsabers. They're mini and they're made and they're impeccable. They're metal. They look gorgeous. They have the little cases. I'll bring them out. I'll do a little segment on one time. They're beautiful and they're so cool. The Dooku one's amazing. The Yoda one's amazing. Like they have the Darth Maul double saber. They're just really, really cool displayable pieces. But the life-size ones are gorgeous and amazing. And there's one that sold for $2,600. These turtle troll figures sell for ridiculous amounts of money. They're 13 inches tall. They're super rare. There's all 4 of them out there. They sell for anywhere from $400 to $600 or more. So yeah, be on the lookout. And then of course another one of the Masters of the Universe duplicate faker sets. I want one of those so bad, and $700 for that. But the Battle Armor Faker versus Bizarro from the Masters of the Universe Classics DC line. It has a comic in the back, like they all do. But the way that they did them in those was so smart. And so, like the Legends figures, they get all trashed up. The way that they did them for the DC Master of the Universe ones, they put them in this pocket in the back to where they're all impeccable and they can't get messed up. So you might not see it back there. It's hidden in this weird pocket, but that's a great set, man. $412 for that one. Bizarro versus Faker.
For that. I had that on my search, like every single copy. I was refused to pay over $75 and never got one.
Yeah.
That
changed quickly.
I got a real faker.
I've never seen this. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Kevin Eastman signed Leonardo from the personal collection of Kevin Eastman.
Yeah, I think you could order some of this stuff through his site for a little while there.
That's awesome. That's super cool for $200.
Mm-hmm.
It's all packaged cool like that. And then the G.I. Joe mail away copter pilot. It's a version of Interrogator, but it's all like lime green and purple. And Interrogator is one of the best G.I. Joe figures of all time. That's a super tough figure to find. Much beloved sculpt mold, and that one sold for $355 just for the figure. And then how about this? 1985. We talked about the rare one, Sergeant Slaughter, we had last week. This is the original G.I. Joe mail away figure with all of the propaganda pieces, $425. And then I talked about Funko, super rare. The Freddy Funko ones are the rare ones, right? And this is the Freddy Funko as Ant-Man, limited to 350 pieces, sold for $1,850 Australian. So next, we already talked about those. Finally, to finish it off, we got just a couple more here. This is some really, really cool stuff that I love. Marvel Value Stamp Book, the original 1974 book with all the stamps, you guys.
Oh, I'm in for 305 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All the stamps.
Somebody had to cut up all their 181s and all those other books to make
Some
this
piece of shit ruined every fucking good fucking fucking comic book.
Oh, dude. That's so cool. So
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. $305. Next, check this out. 1975 Monsters Price Guide number 2. Bernie Wrightson Texas Chainsaw Massacre cover.
Oh, wow.
This is a fanzine that they put out on their own. 1975. Bernie Wrightson did a Texas Chainsaw Massacre cover. That's amazing. Look at that.
Yeah.
Holy cow, dude. Here's the back. Yeah, the back is crazy too. Here's the interior, catalog, and price list. Magazines from 58. So this is a fanzine that this guy printed. This guy right here, Larry Kenton, printed on his own, sent out to all his subscribers. $77, you guys. I would have bought that for 3 times that. So, have you ever seen this? Vintage 1970s Spider-Man, Wolverine, Thor mosaic convention poster from a New York Comic Con, or New York Con in 1970s. Look at this. A Marvelous Evening with Stan Lee, Wednesday, January 5th, 1972 at Carnegie Hall.
Wow.
That is amazing, you guys.
That's cool.
Yeah, sold for $260. And then finally, I want to call this out again. I've been doing this for a while now. I'm going to continue to call this asshole out, and I want more people to know about him. This is a seller that goes by the name of Imagination Inc. We've talked about him multiple times. He is a despicable reprint artist, and he sells horrible Kinko printed covers of famous variants and staples in the guts. From other comics.
Come get it, right? He's talking about defamation and shit. You fucking thief piece of shit. Fuck you.
And this is something that he sold for $86, homaging the Tupac cover as Wolverine. And his art isn't even that good, but people continue to buy his stuff. And this is how he gets away with it, you guys. Right here.
Real.
Yeah. He says, good condition, a book that has been read but is in good condition, very minimal damage to the cover, including scuff marks, but no holes or tears. The dust jacket for hard covers may not be included. The majority of the pages are undamaged, right? And he gets away with saying stuff like this. This cover is an homage to Tupac's Rolling Stone until the end of time, and he hides them in
well, he used to say they were warehouse finds.
Yeah, and so if you go look at his other items,
made up, and he sold fake books.
Yeah, so if you go look at his other, this is a famous one. This Venomized variant one. He sells this one over and over, and just puts a new one up constantly. And in these, he'll say, "Yeah, they're warehouse finds." Exactly. Well, let me find the warehouse find one. But this guy is going to continue doing this. He's going to continue selling these fake books. Here's one: J. Scott Canuel Virgin variant.
It's a very rare one. They had all the DC, and they only printed 25 of each. They all had all the DC and Marvel in the same warehouse that only he knows about.
Yeah. So this guy,
not widely distributed by Marvel. Yeah, it's literally you copied it and you put it on
Yeah. So Imagination Inc. is the name, you guys. This is the one that he constantly sells over and over. He sold one of these for like $1,300, I think, making people think it's some rare John Byrne
kind comic. And you open it, you see that if he opened it up, you can see. Look, come on, let's look at the difference. It's printed. He rips the cover off and puts this on.
Yeah, look how bad the printing is on there. You could see the like dot matrix stuff, like, and then there's he restaples the interior. So, this guy is one of the reasons. One of the things.
Print run.
Yeah, this is one of the guys that puts a bad name in our community. This is something that we need to stop and not spend our money on. So, there's people that will bid on his stuff now. So make sure you contact. I would say contact I would say contact eBay and let them know what you think, and that will help. We don't want this type of shit, this type of trash in our community. So that is the market report for January 25th, 2023. That is also the end of the show on the radar. Make sure you guys go check out the Discord. You can find the links in below for the Discord. The Discord is ever growing. Links below in the description. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming up over there. It has become an amazing community, an amazing place to find amazing things and learn about amazing things. So very, very cool. I want to real quick, I want to give a shout out to everybody that has joined the members only section. You guys, you're absolutely amazing. And I want to read off some of your guys' names real quick. I really appreciate people like LeBron to the Nets, Sean McCurdy, MAGA Daddy, AOA, Pops and Comics, and Taro78, Jason Klein, Keith playing some cover tunes, Zen Master, Paul Diggs Comics, C. Comics, Willie Falcon, Cosmic One, Lottie Daw Records, Reef the Sea Forever, Degenerate DNA, Rainbow Brizite, Daniel Rodriguez, Frank Garcia, Jesse James, Steve Schuss, Brad Selden, Lazarus McFly, Louis Olivo, Cover Junkie, Chad Cave, David Morley, Porcelain Pikachu, Philip Chung, Nimesh Patel, Brian's Comic Garage, our man Ferdbird, Arflome, Solo Wookie, Marvel Man, Joggy, and Mrs. Horsecock Express to say thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys
Mrs.
next
Horsecock
week.
Express the best, but shout out to whoever Rainbow Briz that is. That's all I got to say.
I love it.
Shout out to Rainbow
Much love you
Briz.
guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.